What if Rimuru got bored, and entered the world of Eminence in shadow? In this world of swords and magic, where the strong rules and weak dies. Where every strong G species used to look down upon another species. In such a lawless world, rules are nothing but piece of words that only made for weak to be followed. Why does Creator create such a cruel and ruthless world? A single question on which may all of you once be stumbled upon in your life. Maybe many of you know the answer, but truth be told, the Creator never wanted to create such awful world. But, rather is the creations of this world who failed to achieve the Creator's wish. But still he holds hope for humans who had first shown him the love centuries ago. Until that very humans become the cause of his own death. Being blinded by the greed, pride and wrath they threw the world in chaos. A world without the God is deemed to be fall in the hands of injustices and despair. But like every dark full night has its end, the dawn of the new light full day has arrived with a new rising sun. The day when a certain slime in his naivety takes step with his non-existing foot on this world, and from that day onward everything started to change, from the economics to the politics. In his journey, he faced many challenges and situations where he has to risk his life and of his subordinate, but in the end he meets with success. It had take some time for him to pass all obstacle in his path, but now he stand at the top of the world, being known by the name, Rimuru, the Chaos Creator. From here he changes the world with his newly found powers. 1,000 years, it all takes to meet the Creator's expectation, a world that can be really called utopia. But unawarely he created himself a problem, also known as boredom. In Tempest, near the farming lands, located a small house. From the size of it you can say that it's only built for one person at a time with some restriction on free moment. But it does not matter to our little slime, who's that house belong to? He lays over the floor and stare at the ceiling. He has left alone with his boredom as he does not have anything to do. The peace that he had created is now being maintained by his subordinates, which also take his company, who with he can spend his free time. What shall I do now? How can I cure this boredom of mine? The world is left with nothing to offer me, he says with a depressed voice, giving a sigh. Do you have any idea, Seal? Rimuru asks in disappointed voice as he expects a no in her answer. Moss. Tear, in this world there is nothing left for you. She get interrupted by Rimuru. As expected, Rimuru says in disappointed voice. But master, you can go to another world by reincarnation or teleportation. Seal said with her usual tone. Yes, I totally forget about it, Seal. Rimuru shout in happiness hearing Seal's reply. Then why don't you told me this first? Rimuru asked Seal. I was going to tell you, but Slime failed to stop himself to interrupt me before I can say any more, Seal says with a cold face. Imaginary. Sorry, Seal, for my mistake, please, Rimuru say with expression of guilt. Sigh Seal. I think that Seal not going to forgive me that easily, then leave her aside. Let me think, what should I do? Reincarnate or teleportation? Yes, that will do. I'll then let reincarnate in another world after we tell about my departure to my subordinate tomorrow. Rimuru says, thinking about a way to convince all of them in bit of excitement. After all, he have a fake hope of having his son back. After the meeting with the subordinate. Seal, let begin our journey. Rimuru says out loud, filled with excitement. On it, master, processing data, search for suitable world, creating body, transferring soul. ... Successfully done. Seal pronounce emotionlessly. Baron Kaganu Pav. I am standing outside a room waiting for the good news. Today I am so excited. Soon my wife is going to give birth to a new child. Then I suddenly heard many scream coming out of room. It seems that soon I will have my new child in my hand. Quadruple A. Congratulations, my lord, you have twin, one is a boy and another is a girl. The maid come out of room and announced the birth of newborn babies. Then I had inside the room to finally lay my eyes upon my two new children, laying beside my wife upon the bed. Oh, my little cutie and brave son. We have twin, my love, one is girl and another is a boy, and they are so cute. Claire always wants a brother, but now she will have both brother and sister. She will be very happy. I look to the babies, more specific to boy, and I get worried. I look to my wife and she also say, and some worried, but then the boy started to cry. Why? Everyone at room take a breath of relief. Rimuru Pav. Hey Seal, did my reincarnation is successful? I ask Ed to Seal. Because, it's kinda dark here. I am not able to see anything. Master, start crying when you see light. Seal says in hurry. Why I have to cry? Seal, I said out of shook. Master, you have reincarnated as newborn baby. You forget it, Seal explain. No, I not forget anything, Seal. I said. Then I suddenly see a light coming toward me, my body stated to move in the direction of the light. The next movement, I see many people standing in a room circling around me. Then I soon started to cry as ordered by Seal. Why? So that people don't think there is something wrong with me. But Hen, I notice that my new father is saying that we have twin, one is girl and another is boy. Yay, I always want a sister in previous life. Seal, I want to see my sister, can I see her? Rimuru asks for Seal for help. Correction, Master, you have a brother. Seal says smugly. What you mean, Seal? I say, shouting upon Seal. Master, you are now a girl, Seal say smiling. Seal, what you have done to me. I want my son back. I know you did on purpose, I say crying. Now Master truly become a baby, a smug look can be seen upon Seal's face. Just like how everyone adored heroes in their childhood. He also adored those power hidden in shadows. But unlike those, who forget them as they grow, his was not a short-lived passion. It was something deeper, something that likes, burning desire. Continuously propelling him forward. I adored them and wanted to be one. Not the hero, nor the last boss, but an existence that works their interference and flexes their true strength only from the shadows. To make my dream a reality, I learned karate, boxing, kendo, mixed martial arts and more, to become strong, while hiding my strength for the sake of the day when I would get to reveal myself. Only to one day realize that, no matter what I learn, how much strong I become, it will be not enough. I can defeat some bandit, but what if firearms come into play, if I get surrounded by soldier? If a person, how had mastered the martial art and has recognized as a champion? It can be possible for him to beat a certain number of soldier. Somehow, even if I get out of there, what if a nuke drop on me? Instant vaporization, nuclear boom, leading him to only one conclusion: he need a mythical power, something that can guarantee him an overwhelming presence. Magic, chi, aura, anything that can make a dream came to reality. To gain any of these, he trained his body and mind, meditation, underwater fall, yoga. But, in the aftermath he still's the same as before. He still didn't give up, trying harder than before. Increase the time of his training session, in a hope that he might awaken such an almighty power. Repeating his daily routine for thousands of time until one day he finally dies. Getting hit by a truck. But it turns out to be a fortune to him, as he reincarnated in a world where he will finally have a chance to become an eminence in shadow. Ha, this is magic. 10 years since the birth of the twin in the Kaganu family. For generation this family have pumped out dark night, using fencers that increase the physical abilities using magic. The two children have given their name. The family has bestowed the name, Rimuru, to the girl and the name, Sid, to the boy. But lately, the man known by the name, Baron, also the head of the Kaganu family, started to show sign of concern for his son Sid. As the young man is deemed weak in his mind and has to travel a long way to at least he can stand beside his sisters. But little to known to the old man. The boy is a mobile powerhouse. Hiding in shadow of his sister, he holds the power to turn the whole city into vapors. With his newly found power magic. In this world, where magic exists rather than being the part of fairy tales or fantasies, I will exploit it to its fullest. And to hide my true strength, I am an average dark knight growing under the shadow of my sister. But under that exterior, I am the shadow. How lurk in shadow, in order to hunt shadow. Hey, I got the same name as before with the Tempest interchange with Kaganu, and I know how. That was surely a nice trick you got there, Seal. Thank you, Master, I will do anything for you. A monotone's voice replies praise. Standing near the balcony looking at the sunrise, she stare at sky and hope for an interesting day. You can say it's an old habit of her that she got from Tempest, as she used to view the Tempest every morning. Knock knock. With the sharp sound of door knock, her attention was brought back to ground. With that she turned her face toward the door and allowed the person to enter in the room. Come in. A servant in a butler uniform opens the door and enter in the room. Ms. Rimuru, your father has called for you to come at the backyard for the training session. In a formal tone the servant conveys the massage. Ms, how you dare to call me Ms. Hearing the word Ms in front of her name, there's a switch flick in her mind, activating her killing intent, but with hard effort, it hides behind smile that is getting wider with every second. I will come after changing my outfit. It will just take few minutes. Rimuru says with a creepy smile. Hearing Rimuru's statement the servant takes its leave and returns toward the backyard. Unknown to fact, That he provoked Rimuru's rage. Calm down, master. Nothing going to change now. Seal say worriedly. I know, Seal, but it hurt more than anything. Thanks to some AI skill, I am stuck now. Rimuru says with trying to calm herself down. Is that so, master? Try to control your power on your own, Seal says, being annoyed, and suddenly transfer the control to Rimuru. No, wait, Seal, I don't mean it. A panicked Boak of Rimuru can be heard, and in moments' notice he can sense his aura leaking out, and with a blast it spread all around her. Seal, please forgive me, I beg for it, please, he begged for forgiveness. But this time it seems like she is not in a mood of forgiveness. Seal, please, he is still insisting for help. If master want it so much, I will do it, Seal says with monotone's voice and takes the control. Thank you for showing me such kindness, madam, I will never forget it. I am in great debt for it, he says with a little bit determination mixed with a glint of fear. The ONCE spread aura is now sink inside Rimuru, without even leaving a single trace of it behind. Sigh, that was so intense. Now think of it, I never seen Seal acting so irresponsible. What happens if the world gets destroyed? Wait a sec, am I missing something? What have you done, Seal? Rimuru asks in confusion. It was just a small lesson that I give, master, and did not worry for any collateral damages. As I make sure to put a barrier before. Seal says in her usual tone, but for some reason Rimuru sees it as a warning. Tell me this is the end of it. Huss, he sighs in mental exhaustion. Notice, you have forgotten something. What, you even can't see me relaxing? Rimuru asks in a feeble voice. Let me recall it, The training with father. Master, run for it or you will get late. With her unique voice she speaks. Yeah, I know it, Seal. Without making any delay she starts to walk toward the backyard. Is it just my imagination or I just saw Seal making a smug face? Today's training was so much mentally exhausting, memorizing all those footsteps and swing pattern at once, it's hard. And just like that she always returns to her room with complaint about her training session. The family member have grown accustomed to her complaints and decide to pay no mind to it. After entering the room, she lays over the bed, facing the ceiling. No matter how many times I done it, I still did not felt satisfaction. Maybe it because when I was a human I wanted to have a family with which I can share my daily experience, or it just that I want to have fun by provoking them. But there is something missing, something that can make my life more interesting, something that can make me feel ups and downs of the life, something that can propel me forward. Goal. A single word escapes from Rimuru's mouth. Suggestion. Master needed to listen her heart. The emotionless voice echoed in her head, simultaneously clearing her head and calming the waves of thoughts. My heart, it wants to use this life to its fullest potential and have as much fun as I can. With this jail in her mind, the once sleepy eyes are now burning with passion, as now there is something that has to be chased by Rimuru. Then I have a proposal, master. How about if master do not use magic? It will be more interesting and will add more fun in the battles. After all, this world power level is not very much high as we seen. That a brilliant idea, Seal. Now, the only thing left is to play my trump cards perfectly. It is one of the worst enemy I have ever encountered. Even in Tempest, when I first became the victim of it, I get traumatized for weeks. I never imagined that even in this world I have to face it. Tell me truth, you are happy to see me again, right? My mortal enemy, he says, sending a death glare toward it. It's only clothes, master. A robotic voice echoed in her head, pulling her back to reality. No ordinary clothes, but it's all of girls. Rimuru says, shouting in the last part. Her face can clear express her distress. No matter what happened, I am not going to wear it. Is that so? It seems like I have to summon her, then. Seal says, sending a chill in her spine. As an image of that person flashes in Rimuru's mind. What tyo me and by thet, ciel. Gathering enough strength, she asks with a shuddering voice. The person you thinking about, master? Seal says in her robotic voice with prolonging the word master. As Rimuru heard Ciel's claim, she immediately freaked out and joined her both hand, and with a frightened tone she replies. No, there's no need for calling Shuna for such trivial matter. I will do anything, just give me your order, madam. Yes, I can do anything, if it can save me from Shuna. After all, she is the main culprit. Why, I have all those painful memories. Every time she called out to me for checking out dresses, it's always been a critical hit to my manhood. Then wear those clothes fast. Understand? With her usual tone she says. But for some reason Rimuru heard her shouting upon her. Yes, I am going to lose my manhood, in a crying tone Rimuru replies back. It's been like always, Master denying from dressing in girl's dress and I forcing her to wear, but few days more and I have my motive behind Master becoming a girl, fulfilled. Master will become a gender-neutral person. With this Master will not get offended and feel pain, no matter how many times she is directed as Ms. 4. This is it, the time has come for me to make my appearance. The night sky has stretched over us. The shadows are out for hunt, the moment when the Eminence in shadow will make his move. This single thought run in his mind as it propel him to go outside and search for a perfect stage to make his entrance. In his excitement, he opens the window with a sound of swip and jump on the ground making the sound of tap. And in another moment he vanishes from where he stands. But unbeknown to him, that this little sound will not went unnoticed by the godly ears of Rimuru. Swip, tap, he is creating so much noises, the young lady says to herself as she watches the boy running off. It's been few months since she get to know about his brother's second face, the face of Eminence in shadow and the power that he hide from the world as Sid. And the biggest secret of being a reincarnation. Thanks to none other than Seal. What a not boy, spreading mess all around, how can I leave him alone? After all, I am a good sister. Am I not? In a sadistic tone with a grin, she murmurs to herself. And in the next moment she disappeared like she never standing there. It may be a month or maybe more since Sid started to go out for hunt or whatever he called it, but the main thing is it also serve Rimuru as fun. The thing that he wants so much, that he easily agrees to reincarnate in this new world. What its hold, and what new surprises will come. But now looking at this young man, she finally has some pictures that the upcoming time holds. That was some good lots today. Yay, that really some nice lot. The two men talks under the night shade, sitting near the bonfire. The two men rests as their party is taking a good care of the lots. But soon their peaceful time vanish as the night storm approached them. Wow, it seems like you have a good business today. Taking a pause. Now hand over all the good staffs to me. With a menacing smile Sid says to the bandit. He is killing all of them, without even a mercy, and upon that he is laughing like a madman. What a devil he is. Rimuru thought to herself as he continues to watch the young man. But soon she gets interrupted as her cover was blown off by a bandit. Hey you little girl, what are you doing here? You know this place is dangerous for little girl like you. Ha ha ha, Bandit 1. So, they have find out me. Ha aside, then let me also have some fun. With a slow and steady movement she turns her head to face the bandit. Thank you for coming to me, on your own. Now I can also enjoy myself. With a creepy smile on her face she says with a cheering tone. But opposite to her expression, heat temperature in her surroundings started to drop, the atmosphere become dense, the pressure started to increase, and in a moment no one able to move an inch. This is only a little bit of my master's demon Lord Hockey. I am unable to move my body, this is too much for me. Bandit 1. Who are you? What are you? You can't be a human. Bandit 3. You are monster. Bandit 2. Oh, you realize that now. What a shame, it's too late now. And with the end of her sentence, there was one less to count. She make a quite a noticeable hole on the Bandit 1's body. Punching through the stomach of the first one, like a knife through the thin air. In such a speed that they even can't see her moving. What just happened? It's impossible, no one can move. Bandit 2. Before he can complete his sentence, he was beheaded by Rimuru. She holds his head by his hair and raises it to his eye level. Now keep your mouth shut up, you are too loud, she said with an annoyed expression. Throwing his head aside, her eyes fall on its next toy. The last one that is still alive, but unable to move from his place. Now stand still and feel joy because you are going to become a part of my joy. She said with sadistic tone. And that joy can never deliver to her as the man was died by a heart attack. Notice, individual Sid Kaganu has started to move. With CL's notice she once again started to follow his brother. Suddenly her eye falls upon the item that he is carrying in his hand. What is he carrying with him? She said to herself. She keeps him following until Sid reaches a half-ruined house, located on a deserted land, stand alone under the shades of dried trees, a perfect location to hide something or to make a secret base. He enters the lone house and the next thing that can be seen, is some purple light coming out. What is he doing? The thought flashes in Rimuru's mind. Hiding behind bushes, she waits for him to come out. He is coming out, looks like he is returning to home. It seemed like I also have to go, but first I want to see what was that thing. She entered in the house and look for it, but what she find is surprising. What is that thing? It is moving. Dose, it is alive. Master, from the analysis it is a magic overload. That make its body to mutate like this. Dose, there is any cure for it? Master, put hand on it. I will need more data for preparing the cure. Okay, she does it as Seal told. Analyzing body, collecting data, analyzing data, preparing cure successful. Now master, you can cure it. Dose, I start the process. No, we can't do that. I can't cure this one. It will leave behind a big question mark for Sid. What you mean by no? Did you saying that my hard work is for nothing? Hard work? Is this what Seal called hard work? It's more like blink of eye. Master, what are you thinking? Don't worry Seal, your hard work will not go to waste. We will use it for someone else. Seal Pav, it have been 15 years since Master have come to this world. Living a new life as a girl. In the start Master hated, but as time pass, Master have start to slowly accept it. And now it only a fact that Master has also live a life of man. In this LL years me and Master have done lot of spying and experiment. In one of it we try to make connection with our world by summon ritual, and luckily we secured a connection, summoning the most talented person in spying in Tempest. It not end here. The most important thing come now. Master has become a goddess. Master has grown such a beautiful girl that if anyone drop his eyes on her they will even die for Master. Image. Imagine like this. And in the last, Master and her brother has also enrolled in the same academy as her big sis to become a Dark Knight. Today we are going to departure for Royal Capital. But what Master can only think is when people know about a masked hero and talk about her. But Master have forget that she never leave any bandit alive to tell the tale that out there in dark, someone roam to hunt evil. Hey, did you thinking something off about me? Ask in suspicion. No, nothing Master, can I interrupted. Rimuru, hurry up or you will not reach the royal capital in time. Father. Yes father. Rimuru. Rimuru Pav. I am getting ready for my departure to royal capital. I have packed all my cloth and things, but I cannot find my mask. Where it is? I know that last time when I see it, it's here. Master, you already had put it in the bag, how can you forget? It all because my stupid brother, always keeping an eye on him. It is not easy, but now I have someone to do my work. Moss. I summoned the Moss. My lord, give me your next command. Knock knock. Rimuru, are you in? You are getting late, just come out. I heard door knock and father words. Yes father, I replied. You heard him Moss, I will contact you later. I said, as you say my lord. Moss, after the arrival in capital. We have reached the capital in night. Today we will rent a room to stay. Tomorrow will be the first day of our in Midgar Academy. We have to give a test on which they will decide that we are eligible for staying in the dome. Sid Pav, today is the day I have to give that test in academy. Oh man, I can't wait anymore. I finally going to use my years of training to show them my class background character tricks. Knock knock. I heard a door knock. Why Sid, come out, we have to go academy in time at our first day. Rimuru say loudly. On it Rimuru, just few minute. I reply and opened the door of room we left the inn and went toward academy. Waking ith sis to the academy is a new experience I have after come in this world. We reached the academy gate in just a half an hour. We are finally here. Rimuru, let get in sis. Sid, we enter the arcade. And then we guided to ground surrounded by people. Then we told that there will be a mock battle between students. We left alone to choose our weapon. Long story short, my sister get to live in campus dome and I live outside the campus. 7 months later. Rimuru Pav. It has been long time since Sid stopped doing its secret stuff. It was entertaining. I thought until now when I see my brother getting in trouble with Dark Knight. Hey Rimuru, did you hear the news? You brother have been accused of kidnapping Alexis Midgar, the second princess of her kingdom. Random student. I wonder what is he now going to do, but I can feel some fun is coming to meet me soon. Third man Pav. At Dark Knight office. A man can be seen being tortured by 2 Dark Knights. It has been night from morning, but the man only says, I don't know. What are you talking about? The playing time is over. Now if you have same thing, just say it. Or be prepare yourself to suffer from extreme pain. A Dark Knight said, showing pair of iron needle. It will be fun to hear your scream and bagging. Second one said, pointing the needle toward the man's thigh and thrusting into it. Ah, scream. Sid Pav. Being accused. For abduction of Princess Alexia Midgar. I'm taken in custody of Dark Knight for interrogation. I had been tortured in several ways that can be possible. And thanks to my training, enduring pain is nothing for me. But still, how long it will be go? Seriously, it not like I can't easily escape, but to keep a low profile as a mob. Rimuru Pav. Finally, reached in my room. It's getting dark outside. I wonder why is Big Sis is sometimes so hot-headed and taking action without knowing consequence. But stop thinking of it, now that I'm all alone let have some work report. Moss. I call of him, and as always he came without delay. At your serves Lord Rimuru. He said kneeling in front of me. Tell me what happened yesterday. I asked. As you say, all things start when Alexia asked for a date on yesterday. I keep my eyes on both. Whole day and there is nothing suspicious I noticed, but when Mr. Sid had left, few men came and surrounded Alexia after that with a surprise attack on head, casing Alex. Ia to lose consciousness with that they abducted her. He said still kneeling. Did you know where they taken her? I asked. Yes, would you like me to save her? Moss. No, there is no need for you to do that. Just tell me where and leave everything to me. I replied. Yes, Legion carefully. Moss told me the location. You can leave now, I said. After he disappears I lay over my bed. It's see me. D that the moment that I long awaited has come seal. Getting all excited master for tomorrow's night. Tomorrow's night will be special for me after all. Saying that I closed my eyes and get to sleep. Next day. Sid Pav. It morning and I am free to go after continually torturing whole day and night and not getting any information. I start going in the direction of where I currently live, but still they have their suspicion on me. I can see people following me. I reached my room and entered in. What is this smell? It seems like someone has come in my room. Then my eyes drop on a letter. A letter. I pick it up and open it to read. From Alpha tonight Beta your place. Beta is coming here tonight. That mean they had found some information. Probably about the cult of Diablo and their bases. It seems that the time for a good show is came tonight. The Eminence in shadow, I said to myself. Alexia Pav. Dom. Sound of blast. I was trying to sleep when I heard a loud noise over me. It seems like the whole city is on attack. It hard to sleep with all that noise, huh? I should rather awake or I will miss the fun. I said to the possessed one, how is next to my cell? Damn it, damn it, damn it, it's them, they're coming. It's all over. They are going to total slaughter. The researcher that was using my blood to do it experiment come in the cell holding a injection-like thing and shout. The night order doesn't kill, until it's required. Stop there, who are you? You can't before he can say anything more he is killed. We heard the guard scream. The research, is all in sweat hearing that scream and order other guard to stop anyone how come this way. All the guards that are guarding the cell moved toward the source of scream with the order. Damn, they have find as. I have to hurry, the researcher said moving near to the possessed one, but before he can do something we heard multiple scream coming from out there. Triple A, after all that scream, the researcher's whole body get frozen by fear. It is a pin drop silent, not a single sound can be heard anymore. Tap tap tap, steps sound. Piercing the silence, a sound of steps can be heard coming from corridor. With every second the sound gets louder and louder until it reached the cell's door, revealing a masked person with long blue hair. Why, you are not going to get away with that. You foolish girl, the researcher shouted on her and injected the serum in the possessed one. This is maybe a prototype, but it have its worth. After some second, the possessed one body start to changing and growing. Her eyes are turning to glowing red, you can see the pain and anger in her eyes from which she suffered. The only thing that this eye wants to see is the doom on who make her suffer. Magnificent, 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 the researcher shouted looking on its subject and then faced toward us. Kill them all, before he can complete his word he gets smashed by what he created. It seems like end, I said to myself, ready to die by that monster, researcher created. Clash, a loud metallic sound rang in my ear. Not that fast, you monster. The blue hair girl blocked the attack with her sword single-handed. The monster take a step back to prepare for its next attack, but before it can launch its attack the blue-haired girl vanish in the thin air and come to vision, cutting down the arm of that monster. The monster takes aback with that attack and holds its wound made by cutting its arm. It takes quick look of its surrounding and with that it jumped upward, making a hole above, causing fall of ceiling above us. I closed my eyes in fear, but before I can notice anything a voice come in my ear. I opened my eyes, the first thing that come in my vision is a masked face trying to say something to me. Hey, are you fine? Answer me. I am fine. Only reply with yes or no to my question. Can you get out of here on your own? You can see that, I have to defeat that monster. And out there his whole city is on attack, so the safest place will be this tunnel. Why yes, I can. Then I'm leaving you here. Wait, before you leave, can I have your name? Called me whatever you like. I am here to fall God's judgment upon the ones who failed in God's motive. She disappears in the thinner after sharing its word with me. I will never forget you, the blue hair knight. I said, seeing toward the moon from the hole that is created by monster. Third man Pav. Beneath the ground inside a sewage tunnel, a girl with white hair walked to find the end of it, but before she can do it, someone has find her first. You know that I can't have you run out on us. A voice echoed through the tunnel. Alexia heard the voice hiding behind a wall, and she knew that whose it belongs. Coming out from it, she say, I knew that, how a person can be flawless. Zenon, how rude of you trying to run. Did you not like the treatment, dear? I just want to get in 12th seats of rounds. Let me guess. You offer them my blood to guarantee a seat in it. Iris is more fitting offering, but I have to settle with you. After hearing this word of Zenon, Alexia gets a disgusting look on her face. Ah, I forget that you don't like to compare with your sister. These make Alexia to lose her calm. Afterward she charged on Zenon, but her attacks get easily blocked by him. Not getting a land on it opponent. She used a technique which make his blade cover in orange's color aura. With that she made a cut on Zenon's face, pushing him back. Flash attack, you may learn it from your sister. Then Alexia prepare for its final attack and rush toward Zenon, but before her sword can reach him it get deflected away by Zenon's attack, making a cut on Alexia's cheek. You cannot win against me, after all I am your sword instructor. I know all about your moves. Saying that he punch on Alexia's face, making her stand on 4 legs. At this movement she has no hope left for future and can all think about her sister, Iris. Zenon is preparing to kill her, but before it's get too late, sounds of steps can be heard reaching toward them, and a man come out from shadows clad in purest black. I am Shadow, who lurk in the shadows in order to hunt down the shadows. Currently, Rimuru is standing on the top of the building looking down on the city, which is on the fire and chaos. Mater do I. Oh, you really think that she will be safe in those tunnel? You know yourself, that Sid was approaching us inside that tunnel, so she will be fine. Master, according to Moss's report, the hideout of Cult of Diablo over the whole city is under attack by Shadow Garden. Yes, thank to Moss I know what is going on, but still I have to stop that monster. Where does she go? She said it looking for that monster. Master, look for smoke to find the fire. Wait, what? I get it, Seal, thank for help. He replied and thought to himself, I just need to look where the destruction is most, and there it is. On a street, knights can be seen to witness a battle between a red-haired girl and a monster. It's not like that they not want to fight, but they can't fight. The only thing that they can do is to support Princess Iris, by their words. We know you can do it. We have faith in you, Princess Iris. Hearing those words, Iris get more determined to defeat that monster and strike on it, cutting down its right arm, but it get regenerated back. So you can also regenerate. She say, getting annoyed by it, then I will cut you until you can't regenerate. Then she charged on the monster. My, it seems that I'm late. A voice heard. Everyone turned to see the source of voice, and there stand a masked blue-hair girl. You cannot kill her. She is just a possessed one who turned into a monster. Rimuru said and start to move near the monster. Do not worry, I will cure you. She said to monster. Rimuru then touch her body, and for some reason the monster don't move like it can understand her word. Seal, do it. On it, master, and here it begin. With that the monster's whole body get engulfed in a beam of light that begin from ground and touch the sky. When the light exhausted, there come out a girl covered with smoke. Now please take care of her for me, I'm off, she say to the princess and vanish in the thin air. Everyone that sees just her was astonished by her beauty and power. But, like every story, there is a one person who was not satisfied by the appearance of a heroine in the action scene. Who are you, masked lady, that can cure the possession? Iris say to herself. Rimuru is traveling toward the school campus after defeating the monster from one top to another top of the building, but then get attacked by a elf lady with blonde hair wearing a black cloth made of SL. But Rimuru block her attack with easy. You seem strong, you had blocked my attack and you seem too familiar. Let me ask you a question, do you some a descendant of hero, Olivier? That was a quick question you have there. Rimuru then get serious and say, I am not in a mood of giving answer to your question. Leave my path and I will forgive you for your mistake. If you in such a hurry, then create your own path. So, you want to fight, then I will give you. Both are taking their fighting stance to fight, but before they charge at each other, a purple light beam can see rising from the ground and piercing the sky and vaporizing everything that it touch. This is our Lord Shadow. The elf lady says, seeing toward the light. Taking advantage of the situation, Rimuru escape and reach the campus and enter in her room. Woof, that was close, a little mistaken. Alpha, get to know me. Third man Pav. The moment of the showdown has passed away and the morning of a new day is upon us. The sin is washed away all over the city by the purple light shine in the darkness. And a crimson red-haired young lady is sitting on her seat, talking with two dark knights inside a tent which is built near a crater which created by the source of the purple light. The cult of Diablo, Shadow Garden and the blue-haired masked lady. There may be something at work somewhere beyond our grasp. Iris. However, do you suspect the Knight Order? Knight. Mr. Zenon is one of our best sword instructors, but he is adherent of cult of Diablo. Considering the fact. Iris. Then what we have to do? Knight. I will put a new investigation team to investigate, and the only clue we have is this. Iris said it and shown an artifact to Knight. We need someone that can decipher its function. Ins. Ida Building 5 girl are talking to each other about yesterday's report and how magnificent their lord is. Everyone is enjoying their time until Alpha told them about a girl that he believe is one of Hero's descendant. There is something in it that is irritating me, the way it's block my attack. Alpha. It just your imagination. You are being irritated by your attack getting blocked. Beta. I agreed with Beta. Gamma. Shall we continue the report? Alpha. See this, the most pressing issue. Beta show a letter to all of them, on which a message was written. It say, Shadow Garden will deliver death's judgment. Those fool trying to pretend us. Alpha say with disgust look. Outside in the shadows of night a person can be seen running to save her life. He enter in the one of the corn. RS to hide himself but easily get find out by the group, who say himself Shadow Garden. Please don't kill me, I beg for my life, please leave me alone. The man say, we are Shadow Garden, we will deliver death's judgment. One of them said and try to slash the man with his sword. But before his sword can make contact with the man it gets blocked by another sword. Hold my blue-haired masked girl. Andy then with a single move she cut the both man. Then she turned toward the man to check he is alright and then she vanish in thin air. She saved my life, she can only be a hero, the man says crying in joy of being saved. It's a new day with new trends and one of them which is spreading like fire is to gives chocolates to the girl which you like the most and proposing her to be your girlfriend. And right now Sid and his perfect background character friends is decided to visit in a shopping complex that is recently opened in their neighborhood to buy some chocolates on the way to the academy. Then it's all decided, we will meet each other on Capitol Square at 7 p.m. A.N. Sorry I don't remember the place and time so I just writing this. At decided place and time. Everyone has gathered, and headed toward the shopping complex being unknown of a certain white-haired demon. If someone has to guess his age it will say 14. Sid and his friend had reached the entrance of the shopping complex. There is long line of people waiting to enter inside the shopping complex. Then a girl dressed like a maid comes near the Sid holding a basket in her left hand. Hello sir, would you like to participate in our survey? We will like to have your feedback. She asks the Sid. I'm glad to give my feedback. Sid's friend says, me too. Sid's friend says, we only need one participant. The girl said. Then she leads Sid to the top of the building on which a mansion is built. Please enter in, the owner want to meet you. The girl said. Meanwhile, Moss Howe is following the Sid had hide high's presence and send his smaller version shopping complex of himself inside the mansion. The first thing he noticed at Gamma Howe is standing inside to welcome Sid. So this shopping complex is belong to you? Yes. Lord Shadow. Hearing that Moss only thought is, I has to report this to Lord Rimuru as soon as possible. All things want smooth but when the time come to leave, Moss see the Sid steely ing a gold coin from the gold coin tower that was on a show without being noticed. Lord Shadow before you leave there is something that I would like to tell you. Then say it. Last night Alpha had foe. UGHT a blue-haired girl which easily blocked her attack. I see, there is not much individual that can block Alpha's attack. In the mid of these, somewhere inside the shopping complex a blue-haired girl is wandering around eating a chocolate. It is way good than one I eat in modern time. Is it because this is another world? No, it is because Master is a girl now and girls can test sweet better than boys. Is that so, Seal? Rimuru said trying to confirm it. Yes, Master I have received a thought communication from Moss. What is you want tell me Moss? Rimuru speak on thought communication. Lord Rimuru. The owner of the newly opened mall is one of the subordinate of Sid. Rimuru thought to himself, that's why they have so many items of moderns. Thank you Moss for the information. With that Rimuru cut the thought communication. Seal, it's almost the time for them to come. Yes master, let's head out. Somewhere out in the street corners filled with night dark. A metallic sound of sword clashes ring in it. Currently Alexia is fighting with a man that only say, we are Shadow Garden. You just were saying one thing on and on. Tell me, is that also called Shadow wants? Alexia. She charged on the man, deflecting his sword. The man takes a step back and in few seconds more of them come at their place. Look like you friends has also come. Alexia. Aft. She said it, a voice can be heard come from upward. So, am I? Then a blue-haired masked girl jump in between Alexia and the group. Master, he is here. Seal notice Rimuru about Sid's arrival. Then let's finish this quick. Rimuru said out loud and cut down the three men in an instant, only leaving behind Alexia. Rimuru turned toward her and asked, are you hurt? Before Alexia can give her any answer, a shadow moves behind the Rimuru. Before Alexia can understand anything, a sword comes at Rimuru from her back. She wants to warn her, but she is not fast enough to do so. Clash, a metallic sound resounds in her ears between all her confusion, snapping her out of it. And then she sees two blades clashing each other. It seems that rumors of a masked hero are true. So you are the shadow, attacking a girl from its behind. Did you not have any manners? Rimuru said, there is no need for me to answer you. Then both of them move at blending speed, clashing each other. The collision of the IR blade generates shockwave, destroying nearby surrounding and flash bright enough to fill the whole place where they fight. Stop, both of you. Alexia. Alexia tries to stop them, but they can hardly hear her. In the meantime, a new character showed up, a brown-haired girl wearing the same dress as other member of Shadow Garden. Come near Alexia and stand beside her. How magnificent it is to see Lord Shadow's fight. New. Upon hearing the girl, Alexia can only think that, we can never stand a chance to win against such power. Those two are strong, stronger beyond any reason. Alexia's eyes seeing filled with despair by the performance of their power. The battle is still going on, and every second it gets more intense, and none of them show any sign of fatigue, yet no one of them mana to land a single scratch on their target. You are strong but not much skilled. Shadow. And it seems that you have mastered many combat technique. Rimuru. It seems we have access each other's ability. Shadow. Then there is no meaning to fight more. Rimuru. Afterward they stop to fight and get a part of each other. The place where they fought has now become a ruin. The building or get annihilated by the shock wave. They stopped. Alexia. Because this is not a real battle, it only an introduction of their strength and skill to each other. New. Alexia on it can only think about, is this a mock battle? Then what a real battle will be like. Tell me, what do you want? She asked to the girl, but no reply come. Because the girl which is standing beside her is now moved behind the shadow. Upon realizing that, Alexia also start to close the distance. We will soon meet again. Shadow said to the masked girl and leave the please with his servant New in a blending speed. Our path is bound to be collide after all. And then Rimuru also vanish in the air. Wait, you can't leave that easily. Alexia tries to stop them, but they can't hear her. And she left behind all alone on her devices. Third man Pav. Inside the Midgar Academy, a room is guarded by two knights who are also the member of Crimson Order, a group which is formed by Princess Iris to investigate upon the cult of Diablo. Shadow Garden, and in last the so-called hero, Blue Knight. Every knight's in it is handpicked by Iris herself. On the other side of room, a girl with pink hair and eyes, her name is Sherry Barnett. The most talented person in Midgar Kingdom who knows about many artifacts thanks to her mother's note. She can be seen analyzing an artifact that is found on one of the cult's hideout. This is it. Crack, the sound of glass broke as resounded over the place and a man entered the room from the window. I am Rex, great game of betrayal. In the last night, the fight between Rimuru and Sid has occurred. And the one who was witness their whole fight, Princess Alexia, are with her sister Iris talking about the latest incident. The whole area is annihilated by the shock wave which is produced in their mock battle. We cannot even think how powerful they are. Alexia. Is that so? Then, why not attack at Royal Palace? They can with that much power. Everyone wants money and power after all. Iris. I don't know, I also want to know what they will do with that power. Alexia. Answer is simple, they can't. They are using some artifact or technique that we not know yet. Iris. That's the case. The feeling, the pressure I feel cannot be faked. Alexia. So what you want is to me to not get in contact with them. Iris. Yes. Alexia. So this is it. Fine, I will try, but not promise. Say as I get some information that the one who are killing the people on the behalf of Shadow Garden are pretenders. Iris. Mean Shadow Garden is not responsible for killing of common people. Alexia. Yes, but it does not mean I will not give him chase. Iris. Rimuru Pav. It's morning time, I wake up and done my daily routine like always. Yesterday was a busy day due to Claire who forced me to participate in the Bushin Festival student preliminaries, only to defeat some weakling in the battle. Seriously. Now it's worthless to think. I stopped thinking about it and headed toward my classroom. Today they are going to explain about election of something. I reached my classroom and take my respective seat. I can hear student talking about my battle with Sid one day ago. Now thinking of it, it makes me feel irritated. How he dares to mark my fencing, he will have to pay for it. Yes master, we will revenge him. After all, what he knows about master's true art. A sword technique that denies any form of defense and focus on only offense to bring the enemy down, and he is unhurt only because master's sword start to tearing from the clashes. Master cannot fuse much magic with her sword or it will be broke by overdoing it. That's why we will use that. It will be perfect master. They are here. I heard class representative saying that and everyone went silent afterward. The class door opened revealing bunch of girls. I would like to thank you for giving us your time today. We're here to explain the election to fill the vacancy on the student council. One of the girls said. They started their explanation. It was only few moments has passed when I sensed a disturbance in magic energy, then heard footstep rushing toward the classroom, and a second later they are in classroom. We are Shadow Garden. We had hijacked the academy. If you want to live, follow us peacefully. Hearing the person, everyone is shocked, thinking, how can an academy of Dark Knight be hijacked? So, me students try to repel them but found they are unable to use magic due to the barrier. In the end we followed and led toward the academy auditorium. Upon reaching there I can see many students sitting on middle of ground surrounded by many terrorists, but not Sid. What is he planning to do? Afterward my eyes fall on the stage, a fully armored person standing there holding a ball-like thing. Master, I had found the reason by the magic is not working properly in solution also. Hear me. This is it, the chance for my revenge. For now let's wait and watch. At the top of the wheel. Ding of the Midgar Academy boy stand looking down on everyone stand there. With stretching his right hand forward, a small version of bow and arrow can be seen forming in his palm. He launches his CK on many terrorists, easily killing them on the spot. Where the terrorists can't understand what is happening, probably because they have casted an anti-magic barrier over the whole academy that only allows them to use magic. Yet someone is killing them with magic. The boy had already figured out that the magic is not sealed but someone is stealing it away. And the more magic you use, faster the magic gets sucked away. Using magic as fine threads will slower the process and will be easy to maintain. Between his one side slaughters, he notices a girl running across the corridor and terrorist following her. She tries to hide in one of the room but her bad luck, a terrorist come to her way. Before the girl notices it, the terrorist was killed by the boy, leaving behind a clear way. Sid Pav. If T's gonna be like this, I'm gonna to play slow until the nightfall. When the scenario gets closer to its climax, the Eminence in shadow will make his dashing appearance. I love it. I step forward on the air, causing me to fall. Now I leap dramatically from the top of a building. That one more item to cross off my bucket list. Afterward I start following her, and each time when she is get noticed by terrorists, I killed them without getting noticed by her. When she climbing up the stairs she get tripped over and start to fall, but I catch her. Are you alright? I ask, then put her down and earn what she is hold in her hand. Here you go. Thank you very much, Sherry. Oh, no, you are hurt, Sid. She say, looking at my chest wound which I get back then in classroom, saving that yellow-haired girl. After all, the first one to die is to be a background character. Oh, it's nothing, I'm fine. I just survived a nearly fatal blow miraculously. Then we walk toward the principal's office as the girl want. Look like in this story arc she is the main character. On the way here I took out 5 more of them. Look here, she point to an image of artifact which is look like an eyeball but made of iron and crystal. This is what's blocking our magic. The Eye of Avarice can absorb magical energy from any Dark Knight or magical item within its range of efficacy, and store it temporarily. As result, it becomes difficult to shape any magical energy while in its vicinity. You can also program it to remember magical frequencies that you don't want it to absorb. Sherry explains all about the artifact. So those guys must using it. But that's not all, it can also release all the energy together in one blast. Our conversations went for hours and there are many new facts that I got to know. Such as about the artifact that was in hold of Shri and then the secret tunnel around Academy which is only known to him and the principal. In the one of the corridor a person who called himself, Rex. Tay great game of betrayal, can be seen moving around, surrounded by 2 men behind and 2 men in front. They are in search of a pink-haired girl who apparently posses an artifact that they needed to control the Eye of Avarice. Sweep suddenly the men's behind him disappeared they all faced behind to see what happened. Their eyes are widened as shook. Sweep he heard the same sound again and moved back and there is no one. The men's behind him disappeared once again. He started turning his head backward in fear saying, were we attacked? When his head turned he saw a boy wearing a Kadam Wise uniform with a long cut on his chest who had put his palm on front of Rex's face. Before he can understand anything the boy palmed at his face making him to bounce back. He falls on the floor and then he stand up taking out his sword and a dagger. Too fast for me to see. Are you using an artifact to boost your speed? In that case face out my net, and then he joined the handle's base of it both weapon in front of him. Casting a spherical net around him. No matter how fast if you caught in it, I will get to know your place. He carefully watched his surrounding in front of him and then he turned back to only be hit by palm on his face. Bouncing him to the front of the door of a classroom. Not giving him a chance to stand, Sid throw a kick on his face making him fly into the class. You hit me inside the net. What kind of crazy artifact is he using? Damp a sound heard by him he turned to look the source. He saw his man lying over the floor lifelessly. Damp he heard one more time the same sound. He stands up to get better look of his surroundings. His eyes widened, what lay in front of him as the classroom filled the lifeless men's of him. What is happening? What the hell is happening? He was sweating heavy bullets by the terror, eyes are drowned in fear and wide up in shock. Hey, resounded in the room, he turned his face slowly toward the sound to see a man is hanging on roof upside down. You are awesome, the boy said. The sun almost below the horizon and sky is colored in orange, it's evening time. The Shadow Garden is entered in the vicinity of the artifact. Whole Academy is surrounded by the Night Order which stand out of the effective range of the Eye of Avarice. As the time passes, situation is getting even worse. Night O. RDE are trying their best to sort out thing, but they can't enter the Academy structure as it's in the vicinity of the artifact. Shadow Garden is upon the roof of the Academy's auditorium, waiting for the next order from their lord, Shadow. Currently Sid is in the principal office with Sherry, the whole room has filled with darkness, which is dispersing by the single candle, burning with steady flame. In front of that lays a green rectangular sheet, magical formula drawn over it and in the middle of it lays the artifact, the control unit of Eyes of Avarice. Tin a metallic sound resound in the room. The magic formula started to glow in yellow and in few seconds. It's done. Sherry. Impressive. Sid. Yes we done it. Now we can shut down the magic cut off. Sherry. So what about the hidden tunnel? Sid asked. According what father told me. Sherry said and walked toward a bookshelf, then she pushes a book in. The bookshelf slides and leave behind the opening of a tunnel. She walk in it leaving Sid outside. Between all this chaos, the one who was waiting for her chance to get appeared on the stage is now on the move. They are coming look like I will have my revenge. Just after she said, she vanished from the group of students without being noticed. Her speed is so fast that a normal person can't see her with naked eyes. She moved toward the stage. What is taking Rex that much time? The man in armed murmured, seeing toward the artifact, Eye of Avarice, which he hold in his hand. How interesting. A harsh voice resounded in his ear and he jumped back instinctively in a defensive stance. Everyone that is present inside the auditorium is all in shock, to see someone suddenly appearing in front of them, when their magic is sealed. No, not someone, one of the students recognize her as the hero, Blue Knight. It's only the matter of time until Rimuru become the center of focus, for all. The man in front of her still can't understand what dose happened, few moments earlier he can see his victory. But now his whole body scream at him for a run. He is afraid of her. How can you? It can't be possible to use magic inside the vicinity of the artifact. What are you? Damn, before he can finish saying it. He gets punched at his face sending him flying few meters away. The punch creates a hole in his helmet, revealing his lower face to everyone. He is in a frustration, being able to see his opponent movement, his pride of being a winner at Bushin Festival also being crushed down like it's nothing. He understands his place in this battle and also knows that he can't win in hand-to-hand combat. So he decides to attack on the students, who can't use magic. He orders her man to attack, creating an opening for him to escape, as he knows that no one can take her down. He flee toward the secret tunnel. But his path get blocked by Rimuru. What kind of hero are you? Who not protect people's life? Protect who? Hearing that, he turns his head behind to see. His mans are all cut down into pieces. There is no single man left behind whole. It's a scene of true blood mess. The blood and flesh spread all direction, and in between that, all students are sighted. There was not a single blood spot over them. How can be it's possible? Afterward, the man notices a blood drop forming in the mid-air. He thought, how can it be, a blood drop floating mid-air? He focuses his view on it. To take clean view, what he found is a sting covered with blood, but what surprised him most, is the net of string all around the student. It's impossible, no person can move at such speed, there is no way. So you see it, my stick steel thread. At this moment he is all in confusion, he can't understand what he will do. He did not want to accept this harsh reality and want to take down the hero. So he decides to sacrifice him. He set the artifact to release all the energy at once to cause an explosion. The artifact starts to glow brighter and brighter in red, but there is not a single sign of worry in Rimuru. All she did is look down on him. The red light starts to engulf the whole auditorium. Seeing that, everyone lost their hope and accepted the moment as their last breath. Here you have it. A girl's voice sounded in that instant. Hearing that, a grin appears on Rimuru's face, under the mask, and light started to slowly dissipate, revealing a pink head. Egg girl seeing them from the above and an artifact in the mid-air falling down. Rimuru moved from her place and catch the artifact before it hits the ground. The man was in a shock, his plans are ruining again and again. Now he can't do anything to resist, leaving him on the mercy of hero. Meanwhile students can't understand what just happened, the people who are rushing toward them, just cut down into pieces. Then bright red light glowing all over the place, like the whole place going to be explode, but then it dimed away and a pink-headed girl shows up. They are having a rough time to figure it out. Crack, then a sharp sound pierced their ear, and from above the Shadow Garden enter the auditorium, breaking the glass roof. We are Shadow Garden, Sid says, landing on ground. Task, he click his tongue. He had stolen my perfect entrance, how she dare? I will kill her for doing this to me. Sid thinks. Now both stand in front of each other once again. Sid is enraged by his perfect entrance being stolen, and on the other side Rimuru had taken her revenge by destroying his entrance. Why you again? Sid asked, seeing Rimuru standing on the stage near a man, who was laying on the floor unconsciously. For what I had come here. It's already done. Now there is nothing for me to stop here. Rimuru said and moved beside Sid. Bye. She said a single word in his ear and vanishes without leaving a single trace. This time, I may be defeated by you, but next time, it's game over. Sid thought. There's nothing for us to do here. Head back. Sid says out loud, and everyone leave the place. Leaving behind students to do whatever they like. It has been 2 days since the attack on Midgar Academy. The man who was responsible for all this is its principal himself. He is arrested for his crime by the Night Order. The academy then announced an earlier summer break as they need some time to repair damages and also to restabilize the security measures. As the morning dawn arrives, the sun arises in the sky. The warm light slowly invades in the room and approaches toward the bed. On it sleeps a girl, her blue hair spread all over the bed. She opens her eyes as she feels the gentle touch of the sunlight on her cheeks, revealing a pair of golden eyes, which seems to see through everything. As she wakes up, she walks toward the balcony and takes a seat, looking toward the rising sun. Then her eyes fall on the ground. Students moving out from academy vicinity holding luggages in their hand. It has been weeks since the announcement of earlier summer break. Most of people already went to their families. There is nothing to do for me as well. This feeling once again finds me. She says as she continues to watch. I have perfect idea for you, master, to kill some time and to have fun. You have one. Please explain it, Seal. Rimuru makes a request, joining as both palm in front of her face. Rimuru's expression was all light up as she heard Seal explanation about her great idea. We are coming. The sacred land, Lindworm. At one of the station of Lindworm, a young lady with long yellow hair that reaches her waist, tied with single black ribbon and cute face with a pair of emerald yellow eyes. She clings to the boy's left hand, a young man with a black hair and a pair of black eyes, wearing a decent cloth. We are finally here, Sid. The girl said, looking toward Sid's face. Yes, I finally arrived in the scared city, Lindworm. Sid thought, giving a smile to the girl beside him. Afterward, they both stepped out in the city and went toward the hotel, where He are going to be resting until the goddess's trial is over. Goddess's trial or yearly event hold for 7 days, on which participants are judged by the ancient warriors who have once fought with hero Olivier against demon Diablo. Once they pass, they have fight with the ancient warrior that has recognized its strength. In their way, they cross by a many kinds of shops, each and every shop has its own specialty which they prefer to sell their customers. And it's look like that one of them seeks the attention of our eminence in shadow, Sid. A shop that sells a statue of a left arm that is pierced by a sword. Looking at it, a question arises in his mind. He then asks the girl that is clinging to his left arm. Why only the left arm is pierced? He says, pointing toward the statue. The girl first only takes the look where he is pointing, and afterward as she understand his question she reply. It is said to be that this is the place where he cut the left arm of the demon Diablo, near those mountains. She said as she pointed toward the mountains. As they walk the way, the time passes away. It already the time of sunset and they are standing in front of their destination. In few seconds, he door is opened and 2 servants come out to welcome them, as the girl that is with Sid is the princess of the Oriana kingdom. We hereby now welcome you on the name of our hotel, the Princess of Oriana, Rose. Both servants said loudly in unison as they greeted her. Sometime later in the evening, Sid seems to be walking somewhere inside the hotel, wearing only a towel that covered his lower part of body. He seems to be happy as he thought about something. There are only few things that I like after my dream, Eminence in Shadow. One of them is that song track, Moonlight Sonata. I thinks that it will be fine fit in my role, so back then I leaned that. After that, there comes the hot springs, after all, who will not like to suck in it? And today I am going to suck in it. Already had been ages since the last one. I miss you very much. Sid said out loud. Now the only thing that is between him and his current goal is a door, upon it opening its lead him to the hot spring. Without noticing anything he just entered in the bath. What are you doing here? A girl asks him that is beside him. I have been invited here by the Rose. Sid replies her without giving any attention to her. Now, why does she invite somebody like him? The girl mumbles in a low voice. Did you say something, Alexia? Sid asks. No, I just wondering that how you get in this hotel not being a royal. She says as she looks toward the night sky. Oh that, it just Rose said something to them and they agreed with me staying here. Sid replies. Next day, in the stadium that is located in the front of Cathedral. The acting Archbishop Jack Nelson is now officially announcing the start of the event, Goddess's Trail. That many people have waited it until now. The stadium is full with the people and the crowd is continuously cheering the participant and encouraging them. One by one name of the participant started to be called off, as they come and stand in mid of the ground, waiting for the ancient warrior to come against them. The time passes away as the sun started to disappear, below the horizon. But not until now someone successfully called the warrior and defeated it. But now, all waiting come to an end as a name resounded in the stadium. The famous hero, Blue Knight, please come forth. The announcement made and suddenly the whole stadium filled with cheers as she is the rising hero of the present time. The moment had come that Sid has long waited. His whole reason to come here in the first place is the sole purpose of defeating the Blue Knight and takes his revenge for his humiliations. Flashback. A week earlier before coming to the sacred city, Lindworm. As there was nothing to do in the Midgar's capital city, Sid was standing on the balcony of his room, watching the scenery until a bird flies his way to him. The bird was carrying a letter tied to his leg. It was sent by the Alpha. It contained certain information that I was looking for. In her expedition to the sacred city, Lindworm, I have found the whereabout the Blue Knight. She is currently taking participant in the event called Goddess's Trial. We want Lord Shadow's aid to put the end open the hero who have done an unforgivable sin by humiliating the Lord Shadow. I am sorry to ask it, but I am in shame to say that I am not possess the enough power to do it myself. Alpha. The letter end here, Sid says in the end with a grin appearing at his face. I'm coming, Blue Knight. His tone changes to a serious one as he says that. End. The moment I long awaited is now come. Now this woe. RLD will witness the result of my humiliation. Get ready, I am here. Sid thought to himself as he left his seat and enters in one of the exit gate. Meanwhile, Rimuru enter in the ground. As she appears form the shadow. Her blue fluttering hair attracted the most attention of the audience. As she walked to the middle of the ground, her beautiful figures outshine the rising moon in the sky, as she stand in the mid. The moonlight revealed the mask that is covering her face. In a matter of seconds, whole place is filled by the cheers and shout, commenting on her beauty and strength. She stands in the middle, waiting for the ancient warrior to come. As she waits, her mask starts to glow crimson red, with the appearance of the rectangular gate that emits a crimson red glow, magical formula encrypted on itself. In moment notice after its shows, one by one ancient warriors start to come out and informed a line all facing me until the count reaches the 120. What, do I have to fight with all? She said to herself. As the scene unfolds itself in the front of audience, the whole stadium engulfed in the silence, they can't understand what event is going to be unfold in front of their eyes. Rimuru raises her sword in front of her. As she takes the battle stance, ready to launch her attack on her enemies at any time. But then the most unexpected thing happened, all of the ancient warrior that gathered there are said to be on a different league, they are the one who fought Diablo and make him lost in the battle. Yet they all are here kneeling in front of a person that not even seems to be. No one have enough courage to say a one word that can break these silence, or I have to say no one have anything to speak, as they are speechless to even describe the situation that they were in. The ancient warriors that comes this side are now taking their leave as one by one they all enter back in the gate leaving it open. The audiences are sitting there amazed, they are trying their best to overcome the impact but it's too huge. As they were thought it was over, a purple light filled the night sky over them and the ruler of shadows shows himself up. He falls from the skies upon the one who stand beneath him, preparing a strike. As the both of them entered their enemy's attack range, Sid launches his attack on the hero, which she blocks with her sword. The clash between them creates a shock wave spreading all around. Their swords clashes with each other for few seconds after they pull themselves out. As they create a distance between them, Rimuru looked toward his sword, its blade was cut into half. Now the real fight begin. Sid muttered. As the moon reaches its peak in a cloudyless night sky, all stars reaches to resonance with its beauty and fill the dark skies with lights of hope. As the brightness soon reaches the ground, it's revealed the charms that outshine its glory. There stands Rimuru in a casual attitude facing the dark figure that stand in front of her, ready to launch another attack. His black outfit that blends in the night darkness making him impossible to be seen, yet, quite noticeable making him outstand in the crowds. As expected, she mumbled with a sadistic tone. As Seal foresaw it, he directly falls on the trap. Can I know why you are here? She glares at Shadow, who has already taken his stance, pointing his sword at her. Pretending Lee, Ku doesn't know will not going to save you. With a cold tone he replies the hero's question. So, you seeks for vengeance, ha, with a pause. Then, you are welcome to try. She reached out his right hand, raising it to the sky. Come forth, moon dust. With his command, a dazzling light appears in front of her, its blinding glow filled the whole stadium as no one is able to see through the light screen. In a moment notices, the brightness start to pull itself back as its purpose has been completed, revealing a sword covered in dazzling glow within the grips of blue night. She lowers her hand a bit, lining it with her shoulder, pointing the sword to its foe. It will be disrespect if I use Tempest sword against such weak opponent. Thanks to Seal, I was able to find a decent sword that T can hold 2% of my power with sufficient effort nearby. I wonder, who can put that enchanted sword in an underwater facility? Now shall we start? She said taking her stance. Inside the stadium, at VIP seats. No way, it's impossible, that sword, how can she using it? A old man shout as he watches the moon dust. He is a man in his 40s with a bald head and a fatty body. What you mean by that? Acting Archbishop Jack Nelson, Alexia asks as she heard his word, sending a glare toward him. Hearing Alexia question he turned toward her. His expression is clearly telling them that he is hiding something. He is all messed up as he takes his time to say. Mahuml. He tries to say something but before he can say, someone's voice can be heard from Alexia's back. That the holy sword, moon dust. It was the sword that used to kill the demon Diablo and also wielded by the hero, Olivia. As Beta finishes her sentence, everyone started to glare toward her. It's only that I am a writer, you know, it's only natural, that I know. She defends herself with shuddering voice. It's not like, we don't trust you. You just shocked us, that all. Another voice come from back assuring that they trust her. Everyone turned their head at the direction of the sound as they heard the voice. It's Rose, what are you doing here? Alexia asks as she recognized her. It doesn't matter now, she replied with a disappointed expression. Hey, stop your chit-chat, Lord Shadow is going to start. Everyone heard Beta's voice and turned their head toward her. What you said, Alexia and Rose. Both girls shouted at her in a unison. You are disturbing me from witnessing Lord Shadow's battle. The words come from the shadow behind the beta. From there emerges a figure with cat ears peeking out from wildly arranged black hair that reaches her waist. From there comes out a tail, her all features perfectly blend with his black outfit. Thanks for save there, Delta. Beta thought. Shadow Garden, tisk. Alexia clicks her tongue. Now, what you want? Her expression changes to bit angriness. It's none of your business. Another voice heard, coming from the exit gate. They all turn their attention toward the gate. There stands an elf beauty with golden yellow hair reaching her waist, having a emotionless face watching toward the ground. Beside her, there is another figure. She have slivery light blue hair, folding her hand at her chest such as it pushes out his breast, making them look big. Guards, guards, the old man shout but to no avail, no one show up. What happened? Where are they? What happy? Realizing his hollow effort, his face darkens with despair and voice drop before he can complete. It's not going to help you, fool. An arrogant voice comes out from the mouth of slivery light blue hair girl. As she ends, 4 dark figures come out from shadows isolating the area. Epsilon is right, you should all focus on the battle. Delta said with childish tone. There is something wrong in her. What are you hiding? Alpha glaring at the hero as she thought. The whole stadium is engulfed in silence as the battle between 2 opposite poles has to be witnessed. The ruler of shadows versus the beloved hero. A gust of wind arises from the battlefield, taking a part of earth within it, creating a wall of dust between them. Attention of audience swifts toward the wall as they waits for it settle down. As it's disappeared, a metallic sound resonates in the stadium as their sword clashes with each other leaving an after image behind. No one can defeat me with the borrowed strength. Without emotion in his voice Shadow says, getting a part of Blue Knight. Without giving any time to its opponent, Shadow moves. With an incredible speed leaving a trail of after images his behind, as he moves around the hero in a circle. You can't escape. That's you think. With a cold reply, Rimuru casually wake to the wall of after image. You don't going anywhere. Seeing a gap in Rimuru's guard he launches a swing from behind. Clash but only meet with her sword creating a shock wave. No more cheap tricks. Rimuru launches multiple sword strike forcing Sid to defend himself. They exchange multiple blows with each other for several minutes. With every second the battle is growing more and more intense. Sid can see multiple holes in his opponent's guard but whenever he tries to strike, it only meets with her sword or a dodge. If normal people see the battle, it can only saw flashes and sparks that are generated by the sword clash. They are moving with a blinding speed, where no ordinary person can see them. As the battle continues, the ground has shattered in bits, it can't withstand the impact that are created in sword clashes. Where, at audience seat not a single damage have been inflicted as they are behind a barrier that is cast in the starting of event, surrounding the battlefield. I get it now, it's your sword art. Creating illusion with your body moment and sword, luring them to attack, creating a hole in their guard. Sid replies as he block a attack and then went for her leg, but only meet with a block. You may figure it out, but it not going to help. Rimuru replied, and create some distance between them. With a swung of her sword she creates a wind blade, 5 meters wide able to slice through any object in its way. With the sheer pressure of her swung, Sid caught by surprise as he was moving toward her to launch strike, but meet by the blade on his way, creating a cut, leading from his right shoulder to his left side chest, pushing him back. They both are standing stilling, showing no sign to move as Rimuru watches the Sid. Cough blood has come out of Sid's mouth as he continued to cough. The blade has punctured his lung making blood to enter in it. There are few more cuts can be seen on his body as he stopped moving. He holds his wound on shoulder with his left hand, facing the ground. Unable to move his right hand. Where Rimuru can still seen unharmed, with his sword pointing toward Sid, ready to charge at her opponent any time. This is all, what can you do? She mocks him, moving in his direction. IIW is a fool gasp to underestimate you street rank, taking another breath Sid says. But now I will use whatever I got. Master move back, high mana concentration has been detected. Seal alert him, making Rimuru to jump back. It's too late, I am Atomic Slash. He was buying some time to prepare for his special move, meanwhile closing his wound with fine mana thread. Making it a non-fatal wound. He focuses his highly concentrated mana at the edge of his sword and swung it in the way of Rimuru, releasing a blade of energy with a purple glow, 100 meters wide. You are all free to dodge it. But I can't say same for the people behind you. Sid, tisk, Rimuru clicks her tongue and only launches a blade of wind, 200 meters wide to counter the attack. The two attacks collided with each other, one with mana imbued and another created with sheer strength. With the flash of light the two waves cancel out each other. Master, are you fine? Seal asks in worried tone. It slightly gasped, take more tea than the gasp 2% of my power, Rimuru replies Seal as she pants. Having a human body has put a limiter on Rimuru's power, stamina and endurance. Being a reincarnating he sealed his 95% of his power, then having a fragile body only allow him to use 2% of his power with a little bite strain, but going further only going to wear down his body. Upon that he is only using mana to reinforce his weapon, not increasing durability of his body. It seems that using such monsters' strength take a great toll on you. Sid said, appearing from Rimuru's behind. Stab. Sid thrust his sword from her back, piercing though her left side of abdomen. Due to the stain over Rimuru's body her reflexes get sloppy, leading her to a fatal wound. Quote, you reinforced your sword with mana but not your body, does you trying to mock me? It seems that you are even greater fool than me. He slowly pulls out the sword and placed it on her neck. Aga, you, if I do that, the world be destroyed in one swing. She disappears from his sight, only to appear few meters away, covering his wound by the left hand and holding her sword in right hand that points toward Sid. I am not going to be taken down so easily, let's have another round. She forces her muscles to stop bleeding and rush to her opponent. As their blades meet again a smile can be seen on their face. They can feel an emotion that they had forget in the way of becoming strong, the fear to lose and the thrill to fight a strong challenger. Unknown to them, but now they have started to feel respect for each other, which only get increase as they fight even more. They had acknowledged their challenger's skill, a long time has been passed. Maybe since they first heard about each other. Or maybe land a sight on each other, or maybe just in a mock battle, how knows. The fight between them has now reaches its end. As the both of them no longer have the stamina to continue the battle. They once aging stand in front of each other, taking their stance, preparing for a final strike that will decide the match. In the most possible fastest speed they rushes toward each other, and with a ingle sound of swing they cross past each other and then stand still at their respective position, until a wound open up on the waist of Sid, sprinkling blood. Its end in the very way of Japanese samurai battle. It's my loss, Sid murmured and falls on the ground. I am out of my brie at H, Rimuru says before falling to the ground. With this the legendary battle between the hero, Blue Knight, and the ruler of shadows, Shadow, reached its end. Wow, that battle is certainly interesting. A woman said, as she can be seen tied with chair in the middle of white room. The darkness of night has reached its end as the sun is on the way to arise and will disperse all the shadows. The stadium is filled by the confusion and chaos as the Blue Knight falls on the ground. Yet there is not a CNGLE movement can be seen in the audiences as the whole stadium is surrounded by the shadow cops, surrounding the entire stadium and force people to not make a movement. In this state, they can only witness the upcoming event and pray for the well-being of the Blue Knight. Where on the battleground that has filled with many debris, craters and cracks. 3 figures can be seen moving toward the Allen opponents with their escort following them, holding some captive between them. As they approach toward them, a certain someone has started to panic. Inside Rimuru's body and another soul live with him in a mutual relationship of master and servant as they say it to be. They are approaching us. What should I do? What should I do? Think, fast. I can't let master identity revealed yet, it's not the correct time. Remember, something Moss. A imaginary bulb can be seen glowing upon the CL's head. Hey, Moss, she contacted him with the thought communication. Yes, my lady, I have done as you told me to not interfere. Now what can I do next for you? A calm and elegant voice reply her message. As you can see, master had lost consciousness due to exhaustion. I won before she can complete. Moss understand the situation and add. I have to rescue Lord Rimuru. It will be my pleasure, leave everything to me. That the Moss for you. Seal mumble. If you guys thinking of that, Seal can take control of Rimuru's body and can go home then, sorry to say but you are wrong. As Rimuru has lost consciousness due to exhaustion, his body doesn't have the energy to do so. Did you get it? Hey you bastards, leave me alone. Help me, someone, please. Beta fake cry as she is held captive by the Shadow Garden. The one beside him is the acting Archbishop Jack Nelson, as he is also one of the 2 captive. The 2 princesses are left behind unharmed, simply because they are no use for them. But unknown to them they are not going to sit silently. As Their group reaches towards unconsciousness Shadow. Alpha notices an unusual movement behind him, like something is taking a shape out of the pure darkness. Everyone on the guard, something is coming out of the Lord Shadow's shade. She shouts as she can sense the potent presence that is coming out of it. With every passing second, the tension between them was increasing, their faces all covered in the sweats. They were unable to move by the heavy pressure, they can only watch the being taking its shape. The darkness that spread all over around it started to form a vertex with releasing an ominous sound. But it's all stopped as those black demonic wings come out, dispersing the vertex, revealing a white-haired boy with those wings attached at his back. By his look he seems to be teenage Beau. Why, but he is a demon archduke who had lived over 500 plus years. Shift. He disappears. One of the escort shouts. Where he is gone? Delta Saya as she looks for him, but stopped near the one person that is known by the Blue Knight. The demon stands there still, looking toward her. His intention can't be tell, what he want. Or why was he here? But one thing is clear, he is related to that hero, because when he vanish, he takes her with him. Even adding more havoc in the current situation, the whole group that went to check on Lord Shadow's conditions have been teleported with Shadow himself somewhere else with a red glow. And at this moment, the day breaks out as sunrises. Every member of Shadow Garden that was present there is now once again had returned in the darkness, leaving a bunch of peoples to tell the story about the Great Night. In the end, nobody knows what happened to the hero or the Shadow, but the one thing they know for sure is they are not going to forget that day. It's already has been few days since the Great Night. The story has already spread over the country, and yet, there was not a single news about them after that day, not a single event that has their interference in it. People may say it's the peace before the storm. But little to know them, our fellow main character are just trying to relax while they can have it. As somewhere nears the Midgar Academy, in a gallery attached to a room, one of the main character can be seen sitting there holding a cup of tea, taking a sip as he continued to gaze the sky, looking toward the cloudless scene. What was it that Aurora wanted to tell me? He says, taking another sip, while trying to figure out the meaning behind his word. In her last moment, before she disappeared, the last word she spoke was to alert him from the Blue Knight, as she has a hint what she is. The ones whose truth you seek is not what she is, the overwhelming darkness that surround the single light source, yet why they coexist. The one's truth that I seek is not what she is, the one that I want to know, Blue Knight, so what she is not she is, it's damn confusing. He screams in his mind, being unable to process the data. Or I just can wait and see how the thing play out for me, he mumbled as a grin appeared on his face. Meanwhile, Rimuru was dressing up for the academy. She may be a hero in secret life. But first, she is a student of the Midgar Academy, at least that's what people think of her. And for some reason she don't have much friends, but still she is one of the most popular figure in the academy. Especially in the boys, and people also compare her with the Dark Knight's captain, Iris. Some also believe she can beat Iris, judging by what she had shown until now. That was some fun seal. Although, I don't like the part where I got that blow. I can dodge that if you grant me a small change in my body, you know. No, never. Master should have to remind his words from the past. What we decided, not to use magic and physical enhancement. If you want to increase your limits, go get out and have some training. With a monotone she replies back. Who's so cold of you, Seal? Say whatever Master wants. After all, it's for Master's sake. Yay, mind to explain how? Silence treatment torture. That's again, okay fine, if you want to play like that then so be it. Rimuru thought to himself. As now it can be clearly seen that our fellow main character are not plotting any new events, it can be now perfectly said they are on a rest. But now the questions come, how long it will going to? 3 months later, at the middle of night, on outskirt of the Midgar Kingdom. Run for your life. Escape. She is going berserk, the man shouts as he tries to run away. But unable to escape his fate. The one who killed the man stands in front of his dead body with a cold look on her face, her true color hidden in the shades of night, but one thing pierces through this darkness is her glowing red eyes. Behind her there is trail of bodies, laying dead on the floor, followed by a track of blood connecting all the bodies. The girl turned her face to look over his sins that she had committed, but still there was no emotion on her face and a single word escapes her mouth. Pathetic. She is the upcoming catastrophe that will surely, one day going to fall upon our beloved characters. 2 days later, near the shopping district, inside a mansion situated on the top of a building. A blonde elf girl can be seen sitting over sofa, it's Alpha. In front of her seats two young women named Beta and Gamma. It's seen that we have find the petroleum. Beta says, the most miracles fluid with that we can create engines far superior than any exists in this world. Gamma shares her thought on the topic. Yes, I can see its usefulness in our future plans, so Beta the first want you secure that place on the behalf of the company so we can freely use it to us. In a confidential voice she gives her order. Now moving on the next topic we have in our hand. Beta said as her face tensed up. In one of the town near the borders, all the citizens are massacred. The place was currently has been seized by the night order and the information is ceased from getting out. She takes a pause. Those there are any causality on our side? Alpha asks. No, although two members are found fatally injured, it's seen that they survived because of the slime suit that had given us by the Lord Shadow. With a serious tone Beta replied back. Does there is any info on the culprit? The one that encounter it are still not awake, so we don't have much of detail yet. Beta answers Alpha's question. Meanwhile, the one that is seated ideally, hearing this says. Scion of question and answer back and forth in between Beta and Alpha. She rolls her eyeball as she watches the meeting. With the last statement of Beta the meeting was over and with that everyone started to go their way. It was already been night. In few moments Alpha was the only one that is left behind in the room, sitting upon sofa. For the look of her face, she seems to be in some deep thought. It may be probably of the news she received from the Beta, it may be a town in borders, the people of there may not hold any importance to them but still the news of whole town being massacred is not sounds right. She can sense that it may be one day will come behind them, but before that she had a one very important question in her mind. Why those you not present there, Blue Knight? In her thought she walks towards one of the galleries present there and stand near the edge. If you show yourself a hero then where was you? She thoughts and looked down on the structure beneath her. Where her attention was fall on a certain figure slowly walking on the alleyway. Is that you? I have to find a safe place before it's too late. In this district, where the most population density arises. Every day as most of the shops are located here serving as the main attraction of this place also known as, shopping district. Filled with crowd, 24 hours. So to ensure security of such place, a large number of dark knights are stationed here, guarding the place 24 hours. Still there are many alleyways located out of sights, deep inside the district, where paths lead to warehouses. In one of such streets a single girl walks alone. Platinum blue hair that reaches her waist, a cute face with golden eyes and a slim body, perfectly suitable for any athlete. Holding her chest with the right hand, taking support of a wall with the left hand, she walks straight toward one of the warehouse. Judging by her expressions, one can tell she is in a pain. My control is losing, need to hurry. She murmurs with a heavy breath. But unknown to her, she was being followed by one of the 7 shadows. A group consisted of the first 7 members of Shadow Garden who had granted power by Shadow himself. And the one that is on the job of pursuing her is known by name of Alpha. With a might stance she stands on one of the tops of building. A single question escapes his mouth, under her breath. What are you doing, Ms. Rimuru? For her, Rimuru was always an oddball. The time she spent with her in Kaganu's mansion, she never understands her true nature. As a result for her she was a book. A boo. K that you can't understand but still you can tell that it is full of mysteries. And maybe one of the pages of that book is now going to be unfolded in front of Alpha. Seeing Rimuru entering one of the warehouses she followed her in. To witness, a wall with magic ceiling chains attached on it. In second look of it, you can say that this place is used to restrain slaves. And Rimuru was using those chains to restrain herself. Looking on the scene Alpha quickly jumped in front of her, making her startled. No, stay away from me. It's taking, Rimuru says, her usual calm and collective self was nowhere to be found. Instead, she was shaking, she was afraid. Ms. Rimuru, control yourself. I am not here to bring you harm. Alpha shouts at her trying to make her came back at reality. I'm Lo Sing Consio, a feeble voice comes out from Rimuru's mouth before her body becomes motionless. Tap sound of landing. Alpha that was previously standing near Rimuru was now standing far from her. Her instincts told her to leap back as she sensed the devilish aura coming out of Rimuru. In her place stands a girl with the same face as Rimuru but her platinum blue hair is white, her calm gold. And eyes are now crimson red that can induce fear in its victim's heart. Ms. Rimuru, is you okay? Alpha asks, fear can be sensed in her voice. But no replies come, instead she gets a single glance making her sweat from head to toe. Freezing her on the spot from the fear. Who is Rimuru? Without any emotion the figure says. I am not Rimuru, rather I am me. At this moment the dullness in her eyes was lifted. The inner conflict between her and Rimuru was ended, resulting in graining her awareness. The memories that belonged to her, the memories of when Rimuru lost controls, flooded in her mind. Snap! With a sharp sound she leaps toward Alpha and in a split second she passed through her, inflicting a fatal blow with a sword manifest of air. It happened so fast that Alpha was not even able to see her, leaving her place. I not want to tie up anymore. A voice filled with fear echoed in Alpha's ear and in another instant she disappeared leaving Alpha to bleed to death. This is the birth of the fake demon lord. A being that defies the laws of world, which the world will know as the White Witch. A PH-Al-Ha Alpha wake up come on. Oh open your eyes. A feminine voice echoey, D in her ears as she slowly regains her consciousness. She was laying on a bed, next to her Beta was seated. Finally, you wake up Alpha, I was getting so scared. Beta said loudly giving a hug. Talk. In her time to process the current situation, Alpha looked at Beta and with a serious tone she asks. Beta, what happened? Pulling her back to reality and making her to give up the hug. Oh yes, how should I start? Giving a hum. Let's me begin it from, how we found you. 5 hours ago, we had sensed a massive magic explosion around the warehouses area. So we went there for investigation and we find you. Laying on the floor unconscious. Hearing Beta's statement, there was confused look on Alpha's face. Not harmed, she murmured. Can we know that what happened there? Beta asks in a formal tone. But before their query can meet with an answer, their little meeting get interrupted as one of their subordinate makes her way straight in the room, yelling. Lady Beta, number 234 and number 432 have regained their consciousness. Seeking the attention of every person that are present there. Upon realizing it she immediately retaliates. Don't look at me like that. The duo of girls that they are talking about are the ones that were found wounded in the massacre town. Did we get any information on the accident? Beta asks. Specially, about who did it? Alpha adds in Beta's question. Yes, there was a little description that we got but it's kind of like a bluff. With a bit hesitation at the last part the girl speaks. It doesn't matter, there are many things that kind of unbelievable but still they are true. Alpha says as an image of Rimuru flash in her mind. Excuse me for my arrogance Lady Alpha. She says with bow. According to them, the one that they encountered was girl and he. Are teens with white hair and crimson red eyes. On the first look of her, she was like fear-struck an innocent girl standing in front of them. But, taking a small pause, she was the culprit behind it, her innocent face coated by blood. The hands all painted in red. She is the, everyone holding their breath. Demon Lord. With these certain revelation the room is now thrown in chaos as everyone feels a chill deep down in their spine. Wow, that was certainly a nice introduction of you, Seal. Unbeknown to Shadow Garden, their whole conversation has been heard by Rimuru. With his non-human hearing capability, he heard them from the top of the Mitsugoshi's mall. If you think so, Master. I am okay with it. A emotionless voice echoed in Rimuru's head. Still the same, you are so boring. But don't worry, with this you can also have some fun. And maybe you will have a change. He spoke with carefree voice. Many thoughts rush in her mind. Lurking in the shadows of night, she leaps from one building to another. Blonde hair, blue mystic eyes and a slim body, she can be recognized as a perfect beauty. Wearing a black outfit that perfectly blends with the night's shades, making her unnoticeable in the darkness. And rather a good choice for her occupation. She is in a rush to reach the Midgar Academy. If you think why, then, she wants to confirm her hunch. The information that E got on earlier morning mixed with what she know, it was enough to lead her to this conclusion. Are you the real culprit behind the massacre town Ms. Rimuru? She wanted to go as soon as possible but no avail to her. She was unable to control her mana perfectly. Thanks to the foreign magic in her body but giving some time its effect was lessened. With that she rushes out immediately, without informing anyone about her departure. There it is the Midgar Academy. I will know, what you hiding Ms. Rimuru? Notice. She is here master. Then, what you think about having some fun? She says to her partner in her mind. While laying over her bed. In the absence of glowing stones, the room illuminates with the light of moon, passing through the windows coming inside her room. In its path, scattered by the window's frame, the moonlight cast its shadows on the floor, and consequently a flick of shadow. A vine-like structure enters her room, through the air gaps in her window. And T. Leslie opens the lock and with a gentle push, it creates a way of entrance for the person it belongs to. Sift with a negligible sound, the shadow moves inside her room. But unfortunate to her, it's become the signal for Rimuru to start her drama. Who's there? With a sudden movement Rimuru sits up on the bed and looks her surrounding as she tries to find something peculiar. That window, it's open, but I forget to lock it. She mumbles to herself. I may just forget it. The wind may cause it to open. She said to herself. She gets out of her bed and then she simple close it, with not forgetting to lock it. Sift she heard the same sound once again. But this time, she feels a chill around her neck. The cold and sharp edge of the knife touching her neck and ready to slice at any moment. Alpha stands behind her pointing her knife at Rimuru's neck. They both stand still in their position, Rimuru understanding her situation. Where? Alpha ready to block any counterattack. The silence once again engulfs the room. But for not too long as Alpha breaks it with her words. Don't even try to move. I just want you to answer some questions of mine. She says in a cold attitude. A dull-edged knife. Threat level possessed null. Best suited for a. In a monotone the voice comes out from Rimuru's mouth, in a way which matches the same as robot takes reports of its surrounding. But before Alpha can draw out the meaning behind her words, her prey has moved from where she was standing, vanishing from her predator sight. And with a second due, in a shuddering manner, she heard the sound coming from her behind. You, the same girl from that night, what do you have here? As the sound reaches Alpha's ears she sensed the heavy pressure in her surround, the demonic life-threatening feeling taking root in her heart. From the surprise she quickly jumps forward in a defensive stance, turning her face toward the source. To only see, in an elegant position Rimuru sits on one of Th. edges of bed facing toward the one of the windows, her blue hairs are now white, her golden eyes turns in crimson red, the moonlight that rebounds from her face blessed her with her glimmer. This scene can only be described as majestic. The same pressure, the same fear, same as of that day she is not Rimuru. It's her, but from looks of her, she is calm like there is nothing to care, but on that day she was afraid. Her power is far more than what I witnessed first time, it's incomprehensible. Tell me I wanted to know what are you? She first says with trembling voice but in last it gets bold. She asks her directly look in her crimson eyes. Holding her mind and faith together she gathers her courage enough to finally asks the question for what she was come in the first place. And her answer was, I was a secret born with her, in a slumber within her until now. Who you know, it's another part of our existence. But not anymore as now you know me. Her tone was cold, her expression was blank. Is it? Does it really this easy? No, it can't be, there must be something hidden, maybe I have to give something in return, right? The thought run in Alpha's mind. And as we all know about Seal, it is something that she can easily tell by looking on Alpha's face. Now, it's my turn to ask. Did you notice any unusual changes in your body, Cindy? In a sharp glare toward the Alpha she asks with cold expression. It was enough to pull Alpha back from her chains of thought. What you mean by that? With bit of hesitation she asks her back. Surely, you may have noticed it. From our last encounter, maybe some kind of difficulty to control mana. She says with giving a slight obvious look. Upon hearing the statement, now everything is clicked in her mind. How does she survive that night? Why she faced difficult to control her mana? Why she so easily answered her question? Now it all makes sense. After her realization, her expression was all changed into disbelief. One is can't think any of this making any sense. So, it was you who threatened my wound and injected that foreign partial inside me. In a desperate tone she once again asks. Yes, and the only thing she gets in return was a single word yes. But why you want to save someone that you first wanted to be dead? Alpha shouts in frustration as she can no longer understand the meaning behind her action. What she wants, what her goals, she was unable to guess anything. As I told you, I was in a slumber, the first time I see the world, I was like a newborn baby who follows its instinct. Without a sense of right or wrong, what I did, I can't say. In calm and gentle tone she exclaimed. But it's all talk of past, now listen carefully. When I was healing you there was some extra magic that was left inside of your body, and to my knowledge the magical particle that I have is different from yours. So, taking a pause. It may be danger to you or it may give you a boost in stats. It all depends on your body. She adds, leaving Alpha surprised as every fact that's come out of her mouth so carelessly was an information worth thousands of years of experiment. Being easily able to blow her mind. It's take her minutes to fully understand every bit of information that she had given her. But there was this particular information that seeks her more than anything. And I know what you mean by having a different magical particle. She asks with a half-serious tone, because at this point she knows that everything can become true in her presence. It's not information that you yet have to know. When the time comes you will know it yourself. But, it is. Before she can complete her sentence her vision started blur, control over her body is start to lossa. In matter of seconds she falls on the bed on her back, on which edge she first used to sit. Quickly understanding this situation, she finds it's as a right moment to leave the place. As now the one that will be in command will be Rimuru. You not girl, you are not going to forget that habit of yours. No, it's not like that master. So, what will you going to say this experiment of yours this time? It's not experiment, it's. Yay, I am listening. And like that the prolonged night come to an end. It's been 2 weeks since Alpha has made contact with Rimuru or to write with her alternative ego. It was an encounter which forced her to think how she survived that day and to believe that there always exists a fish bigger than you can think about. And from that day, she started to keep an eye on her personally. Even when she knows that it's worthless, once the alternative ego is in possession there is no one that can stop her in its path. Days change in week and weeks change in month and yet she never witnesses that side of her once again. As the time passes away, she finally realizes how worthless her efforts are. And so she stops following her. In the last, all it's left was an unforgettable fear that will hunt her in her entire life. Right, Alpha, snapping Alpha out from her train of thought as Beta tries to confirm something showing a report. Oh yes, it should be like that. And with that she started to explain Beta about her new strategy that she had for this upcoming new event. Well, it's not only Alpha that had plans for the new event, but it seems like this time I am not the only one that will have the fun. The sound resounds in the room, while the sources of it slowly moves in the light making herself partially visible to observer. As the light falls on her blue hair making it shines. Am I right, Seal? With a grin on her face she exclaims. Where on a different day, someone else wakes up giving a yawn, he sits on his bed stretching his both arm in opposite direction to each other and afterward his eyes started to twitch as he then gently opened them. And the next thing, he heard many kinds of noises coming from outside of her room. It's unusual, he mumbles to himself as gets of the bed and then walks toward the balcony to see what's going on outside. It's even noisier outside. Why there is so much crowd? He says looking over the overwhelming number of the peoples, the streets are dwelling with them. Looking careful at the crowd, he had noticed some species of demi-human that do not live in Midgar. It seems like something special is going to begin but what? Questioning himself, he tries to remember as he put his one hand below his chin. It will going to fun. This time no one can beat me. He comes here. As he tries to focus he can heard more sound coming from the crowd, it's always disturbance to him, but not this one. This time the Bushin Festival is going to even more tough. That's it. Bushin Festival how seems like fun. A small grin grows on her face. Maybe I can meet her again. Shining upon the crowded streets of the Midgar Kingdom the sun reaches its peak, giving a perfect environment suitable to host the Bushin Festival. With every second that passes way, the more near we gets to the preliminary rounds. And as the moments approach the hearts of each contender are starting to get excited with thrill of the upcoming challenges. And yet, he still stands alone on the top of the clock tower, gauging the strength of his foes beneath him. Black hairs and black eyes, followed by the ever-blank expression, wearing a sleeveless black coat over a white shirt and a black pant on the lower half. Truly, an appearance of a mob. Looks like man stills lives in the era of black and white ha. But currently it seems, he is lost in his train of thoughts. This transcends the line of race or nationality, the sponsors, the fighters, the spectators. They all want one thing and one thing only: absolute strength. Here in this festival, where all are unified in the quest to find the strongest among us, I know what I must do and that is to conceal my eminent powers, enter the tournament, and make all the spectators first think, oh, no, that guy's dead for sure. Then make them gradually realize, wait, this one's pretty strong. Until finally, who the heck is that guy? They will scream. As he imagined his plane achieving the success, a huge smile comes on his face. It is one of the top items on my Eminence in Shadow bucket list. And it is time. The big wave has come to town and I'm going to ride it. Stretching his both arm in opposite direction and rising it in air, he gives a laugh of madness. Ha 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 ha, there is so many people. I never thought that this festival holds so much importance to this world's residences. With a chuckle she says to herself. She wanders around the streets of Midgar Kingdom and watches different kinds of races gathering together. What a nostalgic moment it is. She murmured. Now looking at this, it brings back the memories of Tempest, especially of the founding festival, its street. Ills feel like it just being a day since then. In her thought, she walks inside the grand stadium where the Bushin Festival is held. Upon entering the structure she directly heads toward a counter. So master, now what are you up to? A sweet voice echoed in her head. What you mean by that? Can't you see me? What I am doing, she says as she pays for the ticket of the Bushin Festival. Are you really going to watch battles? CLs tries to confirm. Yes, after all I'm not in a mood of ruining an event that has reminded me of the old days. Taking a pause. Besides, I think there is not much for me to do right now. Looking toward the ticket she holds, she replies back to Seal. Walking out from the stadium, her sight was attracted toward a crowd of people ganging upon a poor fellow. As she walks near the group, her sight falls upon the poor man. He have black hair and black eyes, wearing somewhat of mix of light and heavy armor. His eyes were dull like he had not slept for a while. How pathetic. Currently, he was swing in the air being lifted by the big man. He wear an eye patch upon his left eye and have a hairless head, muscular body with fine definition. He looks like someone who holds pride in his strength. You better watch your mouth, punk. The big man punched him in his guts, sending him fly. The poor man falls a meter away. I am giving you one last chance to apologize. Walking toward the poor man, the big one says. What a poor guy, should I save him or no? Rimuru thoughts to himself looking upon the scene. Man, you really are third rate. Getting up from the ground, the poor man provokes. I will murder you. The big man rushes toward the poor man and he throws a barrage of attacks upon him. Wait, is it you, Sid? A weak voice escapes Rimuru's mouth as she realizes the poor man her brother. Does he disguise himself? What does he think about? Wait, does he enjoying himself getting beaten by a weak one like him? Wait, or it can be some sketchy motives of his. Whatever, after all, what he do? Only he knows. What? Too scared to fight back. Kicking the poor man's head on the floor, the big guy asks. I do not intend to use my fist in a street fight. Sid says without emotions. So, you are not going learn your lesson that easily. With a sign of tiredness, he once again ready himself charge attack. You should stop yourself or I will be forced to do so. A girl from the crowd says, trying to stop the man. She have dark blue hair reaching her waist and eyes match the color of her hair, wearing full body armor of violet color, leaving the helmet alone. Note, remember the actual color. And it seems her warning done its work as the big man started to leave the place, and with it the crowd also leave the place, leaving behind the poor man with the night girl alone. While Rimuru also stays there hiding in the shadows. So did you feel alright? The young girl tries to confirm her status. By the way, my name is Anaros Mike'sen. Man, mundane man. He replies back. It had been while since I have tested the blood. Once again as he gets up from the floor he says. Without any kind of pain or injuries, even without any discomfort or hitch. It's only take him seconds to stand up on his feet. Wait, are you not hurt? He use you like a punching bag. The shock was clearly present on her face. It was all opposite than what he expected of this poor man. It had been while since I have tested the blood. Upon standing up he once again repeat him and started to walk away from the scene, leaving behind her in the state of shook. Next is Mundane Man vs Gorzilla. Referee shouts the name of next competitors. The preliminary round of the Bushin Festival has now started, and with the next match is on its way to commence. The preliminary round are taking place outside the stadium on the open ground surrounded by crowd. Among them there are few faces that you may know. But this girl is the most appealing one. She is the same one who read to help Mundane Man, although he doesn't need it. She has come here to first-handedly witness the battle of the spoken man. Finally, our two competitors has come to the battle ring. He shouts and asks, are both of you ready? He receives his answer with a nod. Then let's begin the match. He rise his pistol in air and fire it toward the sky. Damn, and with that the match begins. A second, latter man named Gorzilla falls on the ground making a sound of tuif. Nobody can understand what happened, but Gorzilla had defeated by Mundane Man in blink of eye. But there are still someone who had seen through his move. Her name is Anaros, and she was one of them who had managed to summon one of the past heroes in the goddess trail. 1 or 2 seconds, Gorzilla tried to rush but Mundane Man hit high. at his chin with his fist and the match is over. She breaks the information bit by bit. But for most of spectators, he slipped and falls on the ground. It doesn't hitches the referee to give an decision, since if someone is no longer able to fight then the winner will be another one. This match has won by mundane man. The referee declared its decision. And there she goes with offensive approach, directly rushing toward its opponent. Commentator shouts from the commentary box. Anero's judging her position in this battle knows that she can't win against mundane man with the usual tactics. So she decides to not give a chance for him to make a move and rushes on him, but it's futile. Her blade only meets with his afterimage, his speed is more than what she can perceive. But putting it aside, she once again launches herself at full speed on him and again it meets an afterimage. And at this moment she confirms that her speed is no match to him and switches to a defensive stance. Why switch stance? At a distance from there a young girl says from the VIP seats, her name is Iris. She looks toward the girl who is fighting with mundane man. It rather a good tactic to face an opponent faster than you. The young man beside her gives her the answer, his name is Perv Ass Hat. But judging by her posture it doesn't feel like he is someone with such skills. Who you think will win this match? Iris asks him. If I had to said it will be Miss Aneros, after all she is one of them who manages to call those heroes spirit. And who you guess? He looked toward the Iris waiting for an answer. Mundane man. There is something peculiar about him. Who he managed to come this far is a mystery and what he hide, no one knows. She answers look at him. Then it's a bet. Don't worry there nothing to lose. He says with a smile and his sight then once again returns to the ongoing match. No matter how fast he is if he can't land an attack on me, he can't defeat me. I should at last be able to counter his attack if I play defensive. There he comes. She swings her sword in her direction at full speed. But mundane man stops himself just an inch away from the sword. It's not possible, with such speed. The audiences that are still here at this point watching this course of tournament are thrilled by the match and finally acknowledge that mundane man is a warrior who likes hiding his true strength. Have a better luck next time. The words falls on the girl's ear before losing the consciousness. She was defeated by the mundane man. This match has won by mundane man. Referee finally announced his victory. Shouts of his name can be heard in the stadium, once where he was seized as an easy prey now had changed to a hard one that can also prey on you. It seem you win today, Princess Iris. Perv Ass Hat leaves his seat next to her with a dim smile and looks toward Iris. But, I guess the next match is yours with that man, right? Have best wishes from me. Before leaving Iris alone, he gives her his salutation. I can't let him win at any cost. Iris mumbles staring at the back of the now leaving mundane man. He is never going to stop flexing his strength, how mean of you Sid. She leaves her seat and started to walk toward the exit. Man, I also want to have some fun. Who knows when my chance will come? Talking to herself she walks in the corridor. Carelessly and get bumped into someone rather interesting. Ups, she lets out the word and looks toward the person. She is a girl whose looks perfectly matches with Alpha but she look a TTLE older than her and currently she is busy in picking up her item that dropped on the floor. For a moment there I thought that she was Alpha and was going to hide in shadow but thanks to Seal that I did not. Let me help you miss. Rimuru stated and started to pick up some items. Here you go miss, take it. Taking her items back she leaves the place in a hurry. I wonder why she is in such a hurry. She sighs before putting it aside. Next day, as all required artifact has been gathered, Alpha asks to her subordinate. Yes Lady Alpha, here is the list. She puts the document on her desk. Sitting behind the desk, Alpha picks the document and starts to read it. After checking the list her sight once again returns to her. And how's the preparation going? She asks look in her eyes. It will be all done until the midnight. She gets nervous for a bit there. You can leave now, Alpha says and turns her head toward a window. Yes my lady. With a bow she walks out the room leaving Alpha alone. The room was once again filled with silence. Alpha went near to the window and glares toward the Midgar Kingdom. She stills remember her words crystal clear, the words of destruction. It was a day like this when she went to meet Rimuru or to be precise her alternative ego to ask her about what she had done with her, as from then she sometime cannot command her power freely. But, what she gets to know is another doubtful statement. On a night, where the moon will be the brightest I will be there to see its beauty. And today's the night, she mumbles. A full moon will appear in the sky. Where moon can be seen with its full glory. Will I be able to stop her? Princess Iris has been defeated. The audience was surprised seeing the result of the match, no one had imagined. Net this that she will be defeated in a single move at the beginning of the match. But to contrary to that, what she experiences being cut by mundane man several times. Each second was an hour of torture to her. Her wound may not be physical, but still it inflicts great damage to her spirit. Being caught by mundane man insane technique, she has become an easy target for him. In the desperateness to defeat him, she forgets to maintain her composure. And as result she was defeated so soon. Impossible. Iris Midgar was defeated, before she can even make a single move. The shock can clearly be seen on his face. Perv Hat is terrified by the strength of mundane man. And by such does that even can be possible. As he recalls, a glimpse of mundane man's skill flashes in his mind. A skill that force your opponent to hallucinate an attack, which never had happened, with just your stance. Not even the strongest Dark Knight that I know would be capable of such stunt. Witnessing mundane man ridicule's strength and skill, Perv Hat was frustrated, anxious, and deep down was afraid of him. Tap tap sound of footstep. But his all concern shifts toward the source of the sound as soon as it reaches his ear. Where Princess Rose walking now? Seeing her, he forgets about his previous concern and a grin appears on his face. You finally decided to come back to us, Princess Rose. Hi. Majesty has eagerly awaited your return. Moving aside from the front, he directs his hand toward the King of Oriana, seated behind him. Rose, I'm glad that you are back, come close to me. The king said to her daughter with a weak voice. His condition seems wear questioning. His eyes are lifeless, his body remains with no strength, and his mind has fried. And her daughter understands it very well. She stands in front of her father and apologies for her mistakes. I've come to apologize for everything I done and for what I about to do. I've made mistakes and I'm sure I will make at least one more. But as the Princess of Oriana Kingdom and as yours daughter, I will follow the path that I believe in. I forgive you all your sins. Thank you, father. She stabbed her father, putting an end to her father's suffering. Once and for all, finally putting him to rest. Rose, I love what you had, who will kill her own father. Without a second thought, Perv Hat finally opens his mouth, realizing what had happened. But it's too late, as now the same blade that takes the king's life hangs around the princess' neck. This is my final official act, she exclaimed. Stop her, Perv Hat shouts, commanding the guards to hold her. And upon her order they quickly mobilize themselves. But wait a second, this is the movement that he was waiting to shine, to reveal himself from his disguise. A perfect moment. Is that the choice that you made? Mundane man demands, entering in the scene and instantly killing all guards. Why you? His arrival has confused Perv Hat. The time had come to shed my disguise. Upon his announcement, a black viscous fluid stated to wrap around him, forming a structure like cocoon. I am Shadow. His voice first reveal himself, then his eminent presence. Coming out of the cocoon that is now starting to disappear. My name is Shadow. With this he makes his overwhelming entrance, perfectly suited for an eminence in shadow. With his little chit-chat over the past event with Rose, he gives him the moral support that she was needed and set her to escape from there. I really not wanted to write that much so in detail, so you had enjoyed with this. Now putting that aside, who will stand against him? Meanwhile, somewhere near to them, at one of the audience seat, she sits there watching the whole commotion breaking out. Hey, isn't that the same girl we got bumped in? She points toward the elf that is fighting with Sid. Master, apparently it seems that she is one with the name of Beatrix. Seal informed. So it's another popular face popping out of history. Yes, and just like that they continue their chit-chat about the battle like it's the obvious thing to do. Where others are disturbed by the fact that Shadow had made High's appearance, and some may even fear to their bones. But this scene becomes more chaotic with the addition of Iris. Isn't she just got defeated by Sid a moment ago? Rimuru mumbles. Doesn't matter. Surely, as everyone knows, both of them lack the potential to defeat Sid. Even in 1v2 battle the outcome will still not be in their favor. The battle will be soon reached to its end. Now, let's make her entrance. Seal. Rimuru grinned before vanishing. Somewhere else, the battle between Shadow and his opponents, Iris and Beatrix, is drawing near to its end. The fight has reached to a new stage, the top of the clock tower. The tallest building located at the very center of the city. With every clash of their sword, cracks start to appear on the tower, the debris falls on the ground, but the battle still continues. Iris launches her attack from behind, thrusting her sword toward him, and Beatrix swings her sword down at him from the front. Yet, none of them manages to meet their target. With swiftness in his movement, Shadow deflects Iris's attack while escaping the path of Beatrix's sword. What? Iris tried to stop herself as now Beatrix was one who stands in the place of Shadow. Otherwise her deflected attack will hit Beatrix. Who longer you gonna to run from his Shadow? Iris shouts looking toward Shadow who now stands on the very edge of the building. Ha 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 ha, Shadow laughs in madness. Run who you think to need run? He asks her with a grin on his face. As he has now revealed the true extent of his power, his surroundings started to glow with a purple shade. Soon enough the whole city was covered in the purple glow. How in the world it's possible? Iris shouts, tears starts to drop from her eyes, her plans are utterly crushed by Shadow and Her fighting spirit has been completely shattered. She is no longer able to fight more, she crouches in and folds her hands on front of her face in a desperate attempt to hide herself from the world. Beatrix can only watch her with a pitiful eyes and ready herself to witness what is going to unfold. I am, all range, Adam, but before he can complete himself he was sent flying away, with crushing sound he was punched on his face. After flying few hundred meters he crushed in the building. Sorry for being late but now I am here, so no worry anymore. Rimuru proclaimed showing of a thumbs up. Walking out of the building. Shadow looks toward Rimuru. So, you are finally here Blue Knight. What just happens now? What was that loud sound? What just hit Shadow? I have my eyes fixed on him yet I can't see what just hit him. There were too many questions running through Beatrix's mind, however there was not a single hint on what's going on. She turns her head toward the building where Shadow had crushed in. The place was covered in clouds of dust, but not for long as it soon started to settle down. From it the first one to emerge out is a girl with long blue hair that reaches her waist, her face hidden behind a mask. Wearing a black t-shirt with white streak on mid of it and on top of it a white robe, for her lower half a black pant. From her looks she doesn't seems intimidating, while from her posture she has much confidence in herself. She gazes inside the hole of the building where Shadow was blown, as she did a man rises up and starts to slowly walk in her direction from the hole. His red eye that glows with a glint of purple, his body wrapped by the black viscous liquid that also shows the same glint, pretty enough to induce fear in anyone. If I had been a little elate to dematerialized my slime suit and use it to absorb the impact that blow would torn apart my head for sure. He sighs in relief and once again materialize his slime suit. Walking out of the building. Shadow looks toward Rimuru. So, you are finally here Blue Knight. Finally, our both rivals now stands in front of each other, their gaze had locked to their opponent's movement, ready to be engaged in a fearsome battle with a moment notice. She is not carrying a sword, does she gonna to summon it like last time or she wish for a fist battle while in both case, I am ready take her on. So, shall we begin? Shadow asks materializing a sword. Rimuru grins behind her mask, why not? As the words pronounced, Sid leaps in air to attack her with downward slash. But in response to it, Rimuru joins her both palms together. Focusing mana at her palms she started to separate it and from within it a sword starts to appears. She raises it above in order to block the incoming attack, ith sound of clash she receives the slash and pushes him back. This is my new sword, do you like it? Rimuru swings her sword to try it out and then points it toward Sid. Its name is, Wandering Blood Reaper. I know it's kinda long. But after all it suits this beauty. The blood-red long sword with sharpness to even cut a 1-inch thick metal sheet like a paper, it's a sword that was first wielded by the Queen of Vampires herself. Which holds the ability to become one with its user's flesh and blood. Although we never got to know how she got her hand on it. No matter how many new swords you bring, it will not going to enough to defeat me. Sid exclaims and dashes toward Rimuru. Let's find out. Rimuru mumbled and leaps on him. Their swords meet each other and created shock waves, scattering glass of all nearby building. There's the really battle starts. What is it? What's going on? What the hell is this? Beatrix shouts in disbelief as for someone of her caliber was not even able to see their swords moving. She was once known as the war goddess and hold pride over her strength, to think of it that something like this will happen to her can only make her shiver in fear of such strength. She was approached by Iris with a deadpan expression on her face, she was not even in a state where she can feel shock anymore. She grabs Beatrix's shoulder, let's head back I can't face it anymore. Iris says in a dried tone. Beatrix first wanted to reject it but giving it a second thought she agrees. She understands what Iris has experienced and the state in which she is. Plus, there's nothing she can do. Let me carry you. Beatrix turned her back toward Iris, which she accepts with a nod and hangs on Beatrix, back. And they leave the place before it's get destroyed due to Rimuru slamming Sid onto it. Tisk. Sid clicks his tongue. That sword of her, it really is becoming a pain for me, especially its ability to take any shape according to her. If the things go same, I need to get rid of it first. Getting up from the ground, Sid leaps into the air once again to face her opponent. It's been few minutes since their battle has reached in the sky. Before that, their duel on the ground has already had turned the city center into ruins. The night order that once was established to maintain peace is now hosting rescue and evacuation programs. Cling, 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 but still their destructive battles continue. Both launching series of attacks on their enemy only to be met with series of dodges and blocks. The shock waves that are created by each clash are strong enough to clear 500 meters area in an instant, and the flashes that can make you blind for a sec. Yet, there is no slowing down on the both side. After all, this is what they truly wanted, a battle where they can go all out with the strength they possess. I am happy to see that you managed to stick this long to me. Sid commented, swing his sword in the direction of Rimuru's neck, blocking the sword in its path. I am glad to hear. Rimuru replies. They both retreat their swords to once again launch another swing on their foe, to be once again be deflected, and the cycle repeats itself hundreds of times in a second. No doubt, there is no one that can see their swords moving. If I want to defeat her, then I needed to create a gap in her defense, but how I need to stop that sword from moving, but how? As Sid was struggling for an answer, suddenly a thought struck in his mind. What if he uses his sword to dematerialize and wraps the slime on Rimuru's sword to completely negate its movement and ability to change shape? Without a second thought, he commenced his plan, which for his surprise work. Not letting this moment slip, he punches on Rimuru's face, sending her to crush in the ground. Bomb mmmmmmmm. A loud sound produces as she hits the ground, creating a large crater where she has fallen. She lies there in the midst of the crater, waiting for Sid to come down from the sky. A crack was formed on her mask due to the impact of the punch, rather than that she was all okay and ready to fight. As she stand up from the ground, her sights fall on her surrounding. She recognized the place where the Bushin festival was held. Finally, you stand where I want you to be, Sid claims with serious tone as he came down from the sky and stand in front of Rimuru. Can it be? Rimuru murmured, but get distracted by Sid's sudden shout. Let's begin it, Alpha. Afterward, he directs his sword to Rimuru, then changes its direction toward the sky, directing her gaze toward the sky. A trap. She completes her sentence as she notices a barrier forming. It was a translucent wall with a glint of redness as its color. I hope that you liked it, Ms. Hero. Rimuru hears the voice coming from Sid's behind. She focuses her gaze behind him. A group of 7 people walks in their direction, also known as 7 Shadows, and the one who was first to spoke was Alpha, the leader of faction herself. This barrier is interfering with my mana manipulation. Can it be that artifact? It was stolen by Mew after few days since it captured by Night Order. I don't imagine that they will use it. It's the Eye of Avarice. With a cold tone, Beta says the name. The Eye of Avarice, an artifact that can set to absorb mana within its vicinity, leaving a certain mana wavelength unaffected. The victims of it always left handicap. D is they are unable to use mana in its vicinity. But for our slime, it's not such a big deal. She gazes toward the man in black standing in front of her. You are already aware, Shadow, it's not going to work on me. Her cold voice can beings shiver down to anyone's spine. For someone whose physical strength already on a different level, you may not need it. But what about that? Returning the gaze, Sid says. He points toward Rimuru's right hand, where she was previously holds a sword, but now a pool of blood is beneath her hand, which continuously tries to reach her grasp. Due to interruption of artifact, Eye of Avarice, the mana circulation throughout the sword has disturbed, causing it to lose its shape. Giving a look at it, Rimuru murmurs under her breath, interesting. I can take else help to change my mana wavelength, but what fun it will be. And besides, I don't even need it in the first place. It doesn't matter, Rimuru says with harsh voice. I fight with my sword or my fi. Saint, however, you are going to face a defeat. The crack that was previously present on her mask, now started to spread all over it, and her aura that was concealed by her mask lashes out, as it did a BL. Miasma started to rise from her feet, her fist, her hair. This is the presentation of how serious she is. The air started to flee, the ground started to corrode, anything that's come into its contact will starts to eaten away. This is the corrosive effect imbued in the black miasma. Everyone notices it and can feel the pressure coming out from her. However, this is not the time to feel fear. And they readied themselves to face upcoming wave. But things never go as you planned, does it? In an instant Rimuru vanishes from their sight and leaps toward Shadow, however seeing her fist directly coming at him. He puts his sword between its way. Tang! That was the moment when everyone's eyes caught the sight of Rimuru, pushing her fist against the sword of Shadow. At first, it was like a stalemate. The sword was unable to cut through where fist was unable to reach its wielder. But that was the time when corrosive miasma comes into play. At the contact point, the sword is slowly started to wither away. A crack starts to spread across it until it reaches the other end. Snap! The blade snaps into two and her punch hits Shadow, pushing him back few meters away. It can be proved fatal for Sid if he didn't had blocked the attack. Rimuru's punch contained more than enough power to destroy modern tanks several times. Ops, it seems like I went too far. Rimuru chuckles looking toward Shadow. Sid, hearing her words, broke into laughter. Once alone with power cannot hope to defeat me, he stated, and started to walk in her direction. Let me show you my true strength, the combat techniques and skills that I had mastered once. And with that they both dashes toward each other, their fist clashes with each another, the dust started to blown away with the air pressure they creates with each punch. The fight then continues on. Few moments before, how dare she laugh on my Lord Shadow? Beta clinches her sword, giving the death stare toward the person, but she also knows she can do nothing more than that. It's almost useless. What is the meaning to use such artifact when it can't do its work? Alpha hate to admit it, however her plane has flopped significantly. Rather than cutting the enemy's strength, it encourages her to use more. The aura imbued with mana that comes out of her at rapid rate is more than the rate at which the artifact can absorb as a consequence of it. T had given the corrosive power to Rimuru. Although its only remains as long as she have mana. But it makes me question how much she had after being reincarnated. I am going to fight her. Looking toward the intense battle, she shared her view with her subordinates. Right now the only thing that matters to her is, she want to help her lord in this battle no matter what comes. To which her surprise no one oppose it. We are with you, Alpha. The first one to say is Gamma. No matter how you look at it, but it hurts to sit around and watch our lord battle a deadly match alone. She adds, yay, even Delta wants to hunt that hero. A familiar toddling voice comes from behind Gamma. She reveals herself coming out from Gamma's back. Every member of the Seven Shadows now has a determined look on their faces. From a time now, they all are seeking for an opportunity to settle things with Hero, and now they seize this moment as one of it. For a long time, I just waiting for this moment. On the other side, Sid can be seen dominating over Rimuru with his knowledge of many hand-to-hand combat styles. When it comes to close-quarter combat, Rimuru does not hold much of tricks on her. NDS is her specialty, somewhat lies in magic. She was continuously being pushed back by Sid. At this rate the fist battle can't go well for Rimuru. She had already being covered in dust. Where Sid has very few parts being exposed through his slime suit due to corrosive miasma, most of them located near his arms and legs, as both of it basically used in any kind of attack or defense. Sid was fighting with every inch of his body. First he throws punches, then followed by some knee attacks and then some kicks, which allow him to land one of 3 attacks to its target. You surely know many hand-to-hand combat styles. Rimuru praises him. She admires how elegantly he switches between different styles. Look who is saying, I can say same for you as how you've blocking my most of attacks. He replies back. Rimuru, who had lived for now more than thousands of years, she had learned many things in the course of her life. And one of them is the art of hand-to-hand combat, although she still lacks very much in it. Now die. Rimuru suddenly sensed something approaching her from the top and instinctually leaps back. With a sound of thud, Alpha descends on the ground, raising a cloud of dust. She stands between both of them holding her sword. Let us join this battle with you, Lord Shadow. She signals her subordinates to surround the hero, and they do as her command. Are you sure you want to fight such monstrosity? He intimidates her with his gaze and serious voice. He does not want her to risk her life if she not willing to do so, and just wanted to see her resolve. Taking aback from Shadow's sudden intimidation, she thinks her decision twice. No matter what happened, an unshaken determination, that's all what you may see in her. Then make sure you land a hit on her next time. He sighs as he knows that she is not going to stop, if once she decided. Alpha nods in agreement and turn her attention to Hero. Afterward Shadow dashes from Alpha's behind like a gust of wind. He once again engages Rimuru. But this time his goal was to create an opening for Alpha to land a sure hit. Punches, kicks, elbow and knee strikes, everything can be seen thrown between them. The only thing I needed to do is to launch her into the air, which will leave her vulnerable for a moment, and that's all Alpha needs. He charged his kick targeting on her gut, but she blocks it way crossing her arms and then suddenly Sid launches multiply punches on her. She was pushed back by the impact. Then for a second the on barrage stops. She was going to remove her arms from front but then she sends another attack coming and keeps her arms there. On the contact a crushing sound can be heard and she get herself launched into the air. Now Alpha strike her down. Hearing his word, Alpha leaps toward Rimuru. Take this. She swings her sword down on her, sending her to crash in the ground inflicting a fatal wound. Smash her Delta, she commands. She knows, it will be not enough to defeat a foe like her and that why she set Delta on alert as she was the most suitable candidate out of all. Forming a big hammer-like structure with her slime and then Delta finally slammed it on top of her, crushing her into the ground. She creates a crater with the impact, half burrowing her into the soil. Landing on the ground Alpha asks, is this finally the end, did we win? She was not anticipating that it will end soon. Delta removed her hammer from the top of her. She was laying there like a lifeless body, her hair spread all on the ground being covered in dirt, her cloth all being coated with dust and her body having many small cuts and on top of it, a deep wound on her torso. Her mask, it splits in two. Zeta tries to peek on her as she gets more close to her for checking on her condition. Zeta stop. Suddenly Alpha tries to alert her as she gets a feeling that it's not over yet. This feeling, how can it be? This presence, it's her. Alpha was forced to think as the entire area radiates this malevolent aura. She questioned her thought, how can it be that person is here? She looks her surrounding in a desperate attempt to find her, but to no avail she fails. She was the only one who feels it. What even her Lord Shadow fails to sense. Sweats are visible on her face. She tries to locate the source of it, in between what seems like an ocean of red mist lifting off from the surface. Shadow noticed the tension. Are you okay, Alpha? Shadow said as he holds her shoulder. Are you hurt somewhere? He questioned. But Alpha does not respond. He immediately shook her shoulder to snap her out and it worked. Lord Shadow, she said, suddenly noticing Shadow in front of her. Her subordinates who noticed the commotion also had gathered around her. Hey Alpha, what happened? Beta asked. All members of Seven Shadows surrounded her and started to query her condition and for a moment she forgets about what was she doing. In the meantime, leaving the group behind, Shadow heads Tawa Road, the spot where Blue Knight was slammed. He was interested to find out who may be beneath that mask. As she is not here, the thought immediately comes in his mind as he watched the broken mask lying in between the crater. Where would she go? He moved his head around, his sight searching the entire area, until it got a glimpse of her. She stands on top of the roof that sheltered the stadium's seats beneath it. It is the night of full moon, look at its beauty, how gorgeous it is. She said, then her gazes falls on Alpha, she notices it and turns to face her. And at last, I am here. A smile appears on her face. She can't. Alpha's expression went pale as every inch of her being wanted to deny the fact. The group did not take much time to notice the sudden change in her expression and they aligned their sight with her. To only be wide-eyed as the one who stands there is none other than Shadow's sister, Rimuru. They are surprised to find out this harsh truth. His own twin sister is chasing behind his life. But on top of that her wounds started to disappear, her golden eyes turn into crimson red and her blue hair in white, making everyone look at her with awe. What just happened? Epsilon mumbled, but it went unnoticed. Shadow's eyes sharpened as he noticed his sister's appearance changed. A little confusion can be seen on her face. But he decides to observe the being further. Rimuru then revealed her hand holding something. She looks at it as her eyes scan through it. A nice piece of tech, although not that good. Judging the artifact, she throws it in the back. As it hits, the ground boom flames erupted from the background. Now shall we end this? She outstretched her hand. You will be the first one. She said, directing her finger at Delta, be perish. The word escaped her mouth as she unleashed the light beam. Delta did not notice. How she can, when no one else did. The pain spread in her chest, she feels dizzy and hit the ground. But she feels no pain. Her brain still processing what occurred. The ray pierced her heart, as this end, she uttered her last words. All it takes was a second to occur. Rest of them heard a thud and turned to see Delta's body lying on the ground. Blood pouring out of it, her lifeless eyes asking for forgiveness, as she can't spend more time with them. Rage it is or regret, mixed with the expression of fear, they can't understand what to do. The shook freezes their body as they scream in their mind. Before they can take any action, that's one less to count. The words reach their eardrums, she was on top of them, floating in the air. No one dare face her. The ground started to glow purple as it reflects the radiating light of the new spell she prepared. It will be quick and painless. She gives her best whiz. Hing before they disperse in nothingness. Gravity call. Not that quick, Shadow said, directing a kick to her guts, but she did not budge an inch. A barrier, so annoying. He tries to brute force through it, throwing multiply punches at it. But none work, not a single scratch was on it. While the other shifted Delta's body to a safer place. Somehow they had managed to stable her condition, but it may not long last. The artificial heart may had stabilized her, but it will be hard to maintain. Gamma said, gazing at Beta and Epsilon who were beside Delta. She lays there motionless whilst B, Ta and Epsilon having their hand on her chest as they maintain the syntactic slime heart and making sure it beats. Is there a chance to save her? Alpha queried. Moisture appeared in her eye as she looked at Delta. Various memories flooded in her mind, the time she spent with her, the efforts she did to educate her, and on top of that her childish behavior. She will never going to forget that. As long as we reached Ada's lab there's still 0.01% chance. Gamma stated. Then you should leave now. Alpha said, her voice clearly showing her sorrow and determination. Did you not listen? She shouted. Yes. 3 of you go with Delta. Gamma ordered, pointing to Beta, Epsilon and Zeta. They nodded and leave the place in a sec. As everyone now here understands the situation and what they should do. There was no opposes to any of command. Both the matter in hand is no less to each other in importance. The remaining members headed straight to the battlefield. But things never went smooth as the child demon awaits them in the passageway. My lord not want interference, do you oppose it? He questioned the trio. 3 of them looked at each other before giving a nod. They rushed at him, launching combos at him, but he swiftly dodged them. Now go Alpha, we will stop him, the 2 of them shouted as they created a path for her to go. Taking the opportunity, she runs as fast she can. I will come back with Lord Shadow, she mumbled, tears coming out from her eyes, but she didn't turn back. Holding herself, she ran until the exit was in her grasp. Now it's my turn, she said, sending shiver down Shadow's spine. To check your limits. Tens of hundreds punches hit him in a second, his body held by the inertia unable to flung in air. He feels the pie. And throughout his torso as his rib cage shattered, his lungs collapse and he suffered to breath. She ended her onslaught with a massive hit, sending him to crash and ground. The impact created a crater on the place's dust cloud rose and covered it. Lord Shadow, Alpha shouted at top of her lunges as she watched the event unfold in front of her. All she wanted to assist him, yet she was not there when he needed her. She screamed at her inability. Hidden by, he coughed blood out of his mouth and looked at the sky as he waited for dust cloud to settle down. Who it is Alpha, there is no meaning at all going to end, by my sis, no. She is not even my sister. I will miss my Eminence in shadow life, all I can hope, it is not the end of my journey. Alpha rushed at him, she can't bear the sight of him lying on the ground. She ran as fast she can, but for some reason, the world seems to slow down. The more desperately she tries, the more she feels stuck. Alpha's eyes caught the glimpse of her uttering something as the dust cloud now completely vanishes from her sight. Alpha outstretched her left hand. No, it can't, there are still many things to do. I still had to prove myself useful to him, IW. And to be a shoulder on which he can hold. I will become his aide and I will reach out to him. Conform. Individual has meet the requirement for skill, strategist. Now acquiring. Unique skill, strategist, acquired successful. Strategist. Status. It allows someone to increase its strength by 2.5x times in a particular field with including health recovery. The fields are power, endurance, speed, agility and mana capacity. Luck. A passive authority to manipulate probability according to her liking. It is said that the magicules are a mysterious particles. Sometime it can grant you an unperil. L power, or it can very well become the reason of your death. But no one can ever understand its nature, not even the god himself. So your experiment succeeded, Rimuru teased, his voice was ringing in Ciel's head. No, it's just a hobby of mine, Ciel excuses. Oh really, Rimuru add. Master, Shuna is trying to contact. Ciel said, giving the taste of his own medicine. Hey Ciel, can you tell me, what were we talking about? A single name, all it takes to turn him into a good boy, or should I say girl? That's my good girl, Ciel said, giggling. 6. Alpha, with her newly found power, feels herself even lighter as she unknowingly increased her speed. Lord Shadow, are you okay? She used the healing attribute with investing in his endurance stat. She may yet to have figure how to use her skill. But her pure intention was enough to drive her ability. She may still use it unintentionally on Shadow, but that's all he need. As she helps Shadow to stand, thank you Alpha for what you done, but now you should return back. I am going to use it. Alpha nodded as she understands the weight of Shadow's word. I will please make sure you come back. Alpha gazed at his back as he walks toward his sister. For sure, I am in great debt to you, Alpha. How can I not when you just come to save me when I was on my low, and then this feeling, I feel something different, that say you can defeat her. From my heart thank you Alpha. Alpha had shifted to sideline and Shadow watched her opponent landing on the ground, their gaze locked to each other, they came to stand face to face. I was hesitant to use it. But you leave no choice sorry Rimuru. Shadow said, he may not attach too much to his sisters and may not care for them, but using a technique that sure hurt them can still make him feel guilt. He started to solidify, concentrate, compressing his mana to the very limit of him, slowly expanding its vicinity until the whole city glowed purple. You use it like it's some sort of great spell, well in reality. It's just a simple trick, she said and exhaled mana from her body, then taking it in again, her body outline highlighted in dark. As their preparation with their final attack come to a halt, they both spoke in unison. IAM. The vicinity of Shadow's attack shrunken as it is trying to limit itself to battlefield only. Planetary, absolute. The intensity of their respective emitting color increased. Atomic, void. The two beams of light and dark rose from the ground as they transcend the heaven, anything that comes in their vicinity vaporizes in instant. The two beams clashed with each. Flash blinded the sight and high-pitched sound deafened the ear. The light bombarded energy to break the atom, where dark split it with vacuum. Their principle of work opposite to each other. Yet they show the same effect. The light screen maintains itself for a minute, showing the ongoing struggles in their domain. But it's all come to an end as Sid was exhausted of his mana and get lost in empty darkness. His skin turned into crisp, few strand of hair remaining on his head, his whole body turned into charcoal. But somehow he still manages to hold his life. I see you are still alive. Rimuru looked at cinders she left. Then congratulations you managed to survive the onslaught of Seal. She finally revealed his opponent name. Sid looked at her withered body, many cracks appeared on her. Rimuru's vessel was falling apart. His eye widened as he was unable to understand the current situation. Let me explain, I am a cosmic being who had reincarnated as human to have some fun. She gazed her body, and what you see is the result of using more power than this body can handle. She looked him back. I'm soon going to vanish, so cut to the short, any interfere. NCE of mine to this world will vanish as I will leave this world. Lord Shadow, Alpha shouted interrupting Rimuru, she rushed toward them to get a clear view. Giving a look at her, she really care lot for you. I think she can have it. Well where was I am humming and yay everything I told you will also vanish from your memory, that's all. Then she glared at distance, now I should take my leave. Bye bye. Her body slowly gets dissolved in air and vanishes from his sight. Moss has been successfully returned to Cardinal World. The sweet voice echoed in his head. Now I finally freed from that female body. He jumped in excitement. The end.